Matt Keough, who won 16 in 1980, won 10 and lost 6 last year in his Kurt, Georgia, had a little shoulder problem, especially cropping up in the month of September. He's taking his tune-up tosses, and there's a lot of weight on those shoulders of his here as he gets ready to work to the New York Yankees. It'll be Mumphrey to lead it off, followed by Milbourne and then Winfield.
You and I knew his father. I broadcast him for many years when he played center field with the Red Sox, and we used to cover him in your Tiger broadcast. Marty Keough, that's Matt's father. He's a proud father here tonight. And Marty's a scout now for the St. Louis Cardinals.
And Matt started out as an infielder. He started in 1974 at Burlington, and then turned to pitching, and it's been a successful turn for him. Mumphrey will lead it off, the outfielder, switch batter. He had 4 hits in the game yesterday when the Yankees wrapped out all those hits to set a record, scored all those runs, and made it a 2-0 situation. Mumphrey in the 2 games has 5 hits and 9 trips. Klutts at third base. He's in close on Jerry Mumphrey. The outfield will be straight up and bunched toward the middle. The outfielders here have a tendency to give the batters the line, bunch toward the middle to try to cut down the alleys. And the right-hander pitches. There's a pitch in high, and he hit the dirt on his back in a hurry. So there's the opening message of the game. In tight and high, and Mumphrey went down.
That nearly hit him, Ernie, and he's staring out at the mound. I don't know whether that was deliberate or not. Many people are going to think it was. Billy Martin saying, hey, knock that first guy down with the first pitch and let him know we mean business here tonight.
Now Mumphrey getting back up in there. Keough, the right-hander, winds and delivers, and there's a tap foul in the dirt over toward the Yankee dugout. The Yankee dugout is on the first base side in this spacious ballpark. The home team, the A's, on the third base side. Wind seems to be across from left toward right. Here's the pitch to Mumphrey. Swung on and hit high in the air, foul, over near the seats at third base, and it will be out of play. There's a great deal of foul territory here between the foul lines and the stands. That's, of course, very advantageous for the pitchers because a lot of balls that in other parks will reach the seats and be out of play can be caught in this ballpark. Not much room back of the plate. They've got the regulation amount, but not much more than that. Mumphrey waiting, leading it off. Here's the wind-up by Keough. He delivers, and it is a strike call. He struck him out. A big curve broke over, and Mumphrey is called out on strike. Larry Milbourne, who had 2 hits in the game yesterday and 5 for 9 in the 2 games so far. Another switch batter up there left-handed. Klutts is in close at third base. The outfield is slightly toward left. Milbourne, especially as the left-hand hitter, will go to the opposite side. Pounding ball off the leg of the pitcher. Keough fielded by Picciolo at shortstop. He has no play as the ball was hit very hard. Seemed to hit the Keough on the foot and bound toward shortstop.
Might have also hit the top of the mound, or either way it ricocheted. I even think it might have hit the pitching rubber. We'll take a look at it here.
Low line drive.
Hit his foot. Ricocheted off the side of his foot.
Well, that'll be scored as a single for Milbourne. That gives him 6 hits now and 10 trips. He's had a great series. Here's Winfield, who made a great leaping catch to rob Armas of a home run and has 2 for 8 in the series. 2 for 5 in the game yesterday. They've got the infield and double play depth against the big right-hand batting outfielder, Dave Winfield. No score first inning in Oakland at the Coliseum. Here's a pitch, and he takes a high, hard one from Keough, ball 1. Usually there's more scoring in the first inning of a ball game. The pitchers generally are not quite warmed up. The mound is a little bit strange to him. And another factor, he's usually facing the best batters in the lineup, the top part of it. Milbourne off the bag at first base, and there's a line drive to left. It is hooking. It'll be a foul in the seats. He got well in front of that one, hit the ball very hard, pulled it foul into the seats. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, just underway. Bobby Murcer subbing for the injured Reggie Jackson is waiting on deck. Jackson was in the original lineup and then scratched in a last-minute decision by Bob Lemon because of his injured calf. Little toss over to first by Matty Keough. No damage over there. Jerry Newdecker out in front now, gets back at the plate to continuing the umpiring process. Here's the set by Keough, the tall, thin right-hander, ready to go to work. He delivers, and there's a line shot to left. Henderson is there, spears it for the out. That ball hit like a shot directly to the left fielder's glove for the out. You can't hit one much harder than that, Kurt.
No, he's when he gets around on it, he hits those vicious drives. He doesn't hit the high, soaring ball that might give him more homers. Sometimes he tops the ball like a top forehand drive in tennis, and it goes out and just dips down. It has that top spin on it.
Here's Bobby Murcer now, the veteran outfielder. He's the DH in the place of Jackson. He's not appeared as a batter in this series yet. Batting left-handed, and he takes a curveball low from the right-hander Keough. Murcer batted .265 in the regular season, had 6 home runs and 24 runs batted in. The Yankees had him. He went to the National League with the Giants and the Cubs, and then came back to the Yankees. Here's the pitch, and it is a strike call. Two down, one on, opening inning, no score in Oakland, the third game of the American League Championship Series. Murcer takes the ball low. It bounds away from the catcher, Newman. Over to the third base side of the plate, and on to second will go Larry Milbourne. That's the wild pitch. Newdecker wants to inspect the baseball. Once again, we get into that process. Murcer with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. Outfield straight up on Bobby. A time called at the plate. Infield is deep all the way around. Matty Keough to the set position, delivers, and Murcer takes a wide one. Joe Altobelli, the third base coach for the Yanks. Mike Ferraro, the first base coach for them. Yanks trying to put it away here this afternoon. They lead in the series, 2 victories to none. After Jackson warmed up, he told Bob Lemon the leg was still sore. That's why Bob's using Murcer. There's a ball outside. Low breaking pitch didn't get over. 3-2 the count on him. Strikeout, a single, a fly to left, a wild pitch. The Yankees have a man at second, no score first inning. And a 3-2 count on Bobby Murcer. Keough delivers. There's a swing and a foul hit out of play down the third base side. He almost hit that one out of the catcher's mitt. He swung so late, just protecting the plate. Just about all the field is in the shade. One little sunny spot back from second base. Very tough time of night to be batting. Here's the set, and Keough delivers. It's a high one. He walked him. Murcer on with a walk. 2 men on, and Oscar Gamble, playing right field this afternoon, will be the batter for the Yankees. Oscar with 1 for 5 in the 2 games, 1 for 4 yesterday. Outfield pulled around to right on him. For the first baseman, Moore will play off the bag and deep. He won't bother about the runner over there, Murcer. Matt Keough in early trouble, 2 on and 2 out for the Yankees. The game scoreless in the first inning. And he delivers. Here's a high one. He is high and away on these left-hand hitters. Been about in the same spot. as he's been missing the strike zone. Good bit of territory between the left fielder Henderson and the foul line down in his corner. It's 330 to each corner, the foul pole here. Keough working deliberately. He sets, he deals. There's a high one again and outside again. 2-0. Streak of wildness is hit Pat Keough. Here comes McKay, the second baseman, in to try to settle him down a little bit. The A's are playing in their 23rd playoff game, League Championship Series game. That's more than any other Major League ball club. Now, Art Fowler, the pitching coach, going out to talk with his pitcher and with McKay. Maybe some delivery flaw that he's picked up here, maybe a point of release. Art has been the pitching coach with Billy Martin wherever Billy's gone. Pitching coaches, a fairly recent development over the last 30 or 40 years in baseball. Muddy Rule was the first one. And Jimmy Dykson managing the White Sox back in the mid-30s. Well, the conference is over. It's a 2-0 pitch. Gamble fouls it away back toward the press box area. Took a cut on 2-0 and he fouled it off. In 24 previous League Championship Series, the team that jumped out to a 2-0 lead in game 14 times, 7 in each league. And in all 14 cases, that team has gone on to win. And on 10 of those occasions, they have swept the series 3 in a row. Gamble waiting. Here's a pitch. He takes a breaking ball over but low. 3-1 on Oscar. Graig Nettles, who's been the hitting hero of the series, is the on-deck man. Milbourne on second, Murcer on first. Here it comes. He takes a ball wide, and the Yankees have both the bases. Single and 2 walks, putting 3 New Yorkers on the bases. Keough has now thrown 20 pitches, and 11 have missed the strike zone. Here's Graig Nettles. He had a 3-run homer yesterday and 4 for 4. In the 2 games, he has 5 for 7. Outfield deep and around to right on him, the infield back. Left hand hitting third baseman. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. He takes a ball low.
Strange the turnaround he had. He couldn't buy a hit against Milwaukee. He had 1 hit in 17 times up. Up pops a new team and a new series, and now they can't get him out.
Now digging in against Keough with a chance to put the Yanks in front. Game scoreless, bases loaded. Nettles takes it. Is outside. Ball 2. Jeff Jones, the big right-hander, throwing in the Oakland bullpen. Nettles has his youngsters up here with him. They live in San Diego. His brother Jim, who's a member of the Oakland organization, is here. Jim played in the minor leagues for Oakland this year. They brought him up toward the end of the season. He's not eligible for this series. Here's a pitch. Craig swings. There's a drive to right. Going back is Armas, and he makes the catch. Misjudged the ball, but he grabbed it in the right field corner. A scary inning for Keough and the A's. The Yankees are out with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 runners are left on base. At the end of the half inning, New York nothing. Oakland coming to bat.
I'd have to say the A's were flirting with disaster there. Nettles smashed that drive into the right field corner. The ball started to sink, and Armas just got in time there with a one-handed stab. Otherwise, 3 runs across.
And they got out of alive, and the Yankees will have 3 runners on, and there's no score. So here's Rickey Henderson to lead off against Dave Righetti. Righetti has never pitched against the Oakland A's, and he is a very tough pitcher. This is a very tough time of night, as we said, to face anybody, but especially a man who throws as hard as this young left-hander. He was 5-0 at Columbus. They brought him up in May. He won 8 and lost 4 with the Yankees. Came to the Yanks, you remember, in a deal with the Texas Rangers in November '78. Sparky Lyle was in that deal. And it is said in the paper today, Art Rosenblum, I think, wrote the story that while he was with the Rangers, George Steinbrenner paid one of those bird dogs, a scout, $5,000 to watch every game that Righetti pitched and send clippings in.
I'll say one thing about Steinbrenner. You can criticize him or praise him, but he's a very thorough man. And he's studious. He is a good attention to detail. And this deal that they made, the Texas Rangers would like to have him back because this kid has the making of being a great pitcher if he doesn't get arm trouble for the next 10 years.
Rickey Henderson will be the first man to face the left-hander Righetti. Rickey with 1 for 5 yesterday and 3 for 9 in the 2 games set so far. Right-hand batter. Very fine leadoff man, great defensive player. Super runner, Rickey Henderson. The pitch is a strike. He took a fastball on the inside corner. Outfield is straight up, and they've got Nettles, who not only has had a lusty bat in this game, but has played a good third base. He's wide of the bag a little bit now. Here's the kick of the pitch, and it is swung on and hit foul out of play down the right field side. Righetti's brother, Steve, signed by Texas also, but he has since retired from baseball. They wanted to make a catcher out of him. He's been an infielder. He broke his ankles and decided to give it up. He lives in this area. Here's the windup now by the left-hander. The pitch is a high one. 1-2. That's the count on Henderson. Cerone working behind the plate. Watson at first base. Randolph at second for the Yanks. Milbourne at short. Nettles at third baseman. Winfield in left. Mumphrey in center. Gamble in right. Now Righetti kicks and delivers. Here's a fly ball to center. It's a base hit. Henderson is on for the leadoff single. Makes the big turn and skids to a stop. He got the pitch down on the hands, but he had enough on it to get it over the infield. Milbourne racing for it, couldn't reach it. And Dwayne Murphy will be the batter. Murphy was 2 for 4 yesterday. He didn't get a hit the first game. He's 2 for 7 in the 2. The fleet center fielder, left-hand batter, Dwayne Murphy. Henderson stole more bases last year than the entire Yankee team. That is this past season. 56 to 46, I think the figure was. He's edging off a little bit. Watson holding with him, and Righetti trips one over there. He's back.
His secret is the right lead and acceleration. When he takes off on that first step, he is going full speed. He stole 100 bases last year.
There's a fastball high on Murphy. This will put a little early pressure on Righetti, having that leadoff man on first base.
I guess he and Tim Raines would be a contest between them, wouldn't they?
Absolutely.
Tim Raines of Montreal.
Here's the set now by the left-hander. There's a cut and a miss, a vicious swing on an inside fastball. 1-1. Outfield is straight up, and once again they bunch up the middle on the hitter. Cliff Johnson waiting on deck. Cliff was a probable starter and decided that his hip had healed enough where he could play today. Throw to first. He is back with a head-first slide. Almost caught him going the wrong way. Henderson reacted quickly and got back safely. Jackie Moore, the first base coach over there, keeping an eye on the runner. Righetti delivers. There's a chopper foul in the dirt back of the plate.
Ernie, Righetti has one of those moves that when he kicks, you don't really know whether he's going to first base or coming to the plate. It's a deceiving move.
Here comes Joe Romo, the trainer, out now for the A's. That ball came down and hit Murphy on the foot, I believe. No, he's feeling his side. He may have twisted his side. Thought maybe the ball hit him, but it didn't. Apparently, there was a little twist to the side when he took the swing. Billy Martin came out to check on his batter, Murphy, and everything seems to be all right. Man on first, nobody down, no score first inning in Oakland. Yankees won the 2 games at Yankee Stadium. Friendly, enthusiastic crowd here for the Oakland A's. Here's the pitch on the way, swung on and fouled upstairs on the third base side. And that move that Kurt was talking about, the runner at first base, Henderson, started back when Righetti sent the ball plateward.
He could get into a fine line between a balk and a legal delivery to the plate, but he's got Henderson, little buffalo, over there right now.
Henderson trying to reestablish a lead. Here's a pitch. He jams him with a fastball, and that'll even the count at 2-2.
Now Murphy's crawling around down there, and he must have hurt himself on that second or third swing he took.
Down on his knees now, and Joe Romo coming up out of the dugout is out there talking with him. Here comes Martin again, and the third base coach Boyer coming in. He's one of the key men on this Oakland team.
On a check swing that time, and he grabbed his left side.
Maybe a muscle spasm.
Might be a muscle spasm. Maybe he pulled a muscle.
Joe Romo's rubbing that side now, and maybe trying to rub a little circulation back in it.
Almost like it has a stitch in it.
Yeah, he's up on his feet now.
It's a wonder to me that all the big swingers we've seen over the years, when they take that big cut and that follow through, why they don't just almost twist their lower backs apart.
Or when they check a swing, too, the
That's
same
the
thing
worst.
could happen. Yep. Well, they're still talking to him down there. Billy Martin is the man in charge. He's got to figure out whether they want Murphy to stay in. Joe Romo's still massaging the side. Got his arms up. Joe's working on him. He's trying to twist and see if he can do it without any extra amount of pain.
Billy and the umpire, all buddies down there, they're smiling. Billy just patted Newdecker on the back. New ball game. Billy's back home. They got a little nasty call around home plate. He won't be smiling. But it's been quiet that way. Everybody had anticipated that fireworks, that Martin going against his old boss Steinbrenner, and there'd be all kinds of controversies going, but it hasn't worked out that way.
Murphy took another practice swing, and then he went down on his knees, Kurt. Now he's back up, and he seems to be in a good bit of pain.
I think they're going to take him out. Well, if he can't swing up there, if it hurts him, it's going to bother his outfielding, too, and might as well get him out of there. It's going to hurt the A's. He's about as good as defensive center fielder as there is in the game right now, and he can also hit and hit with power.
And it'll be Rick Bassetti come into bat for him. Rick started in the game yesterday and had a double his only time at bat. Rick Bassetti, B-O-S-E-T-T-I, one-time Toronto player. He's taken some practice swings now, so Murphy is out of the ball game. Apparently that pain was just too much to allow him to continue. And insert Rick Bassetti in the second spot in the batting order. Had quite a few injuries to both sides here in this American League Championship Series. He'll inherit the count of 2-2. Henderson at first base, no score first inning. Yankees loaded the bases and did not score. They had a single and a couple of walks to load them. Now the set by Dave Righetti, the young left-hander, delivers. Henderson goes. Here's a swing and a miss. The throw to second. He is safe. And he had that beaten by a good margin.
There was no contest. That time Righetti let him get the jump. And Henderson was in there easily with a stolen base. Unless you hold him, he's going to steal on you about every time.
Strikeout would be charged to the outgoing batter, Murphy. The steal for Henderson, that puts him in scoring position, and the big designated hitter, Cliff Johnson, who's had a bad hip, is coming to bat. Cliff didn't play yesterday. He was in the opening game and failed to hit 3 trips. He hurt himself going to second base, hurt his left hip. But he's in action this afternoon. Here's the pitch on the way. It is a high one.
Ernie, that's Henderson's 3rd steal now in 6 postseason games. 3 against Kansas City and his 3rd one against the Yankees.
Man on second and 1 out. No score. First inning in Oakland. Outfield a little bit to left on Johnson. Big, strong right-hand batter waiting, and the pitch is taken high. Ball 2. Extra pressure on young Mr. Righetti tonight. His family's here. They live right down the road in San Jose. All his friends, he grew up in this area, and he's pitching in a game that could give him the championship. There's a fastball high, ball 3.
He wasn't really highly touted as a youngster. Went to Pioneer High School. Then he certainly grew up. He put on about 5 inches in height. And when the scouts looked at him in high school, and right after that, they didn't think too much of him.
And he even had a mediocre year a couple of years ago in the minors, but he's come on strong. 3-0 count on Johnson. Delivers. Here's a strike on the inside corner. Cliff took a step toward first base. But that call by Neudecker lassoed him. No runs, 1 hit, no errors on each side. We're in the first inning. Lights are on. Now, you won't help much at this stage. Here's the pitch. Johnson swings and doesn't get it. Blew the fastball through. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Cliff Johnson. Henderson led off with a single, stole second. As Bassetti, the pinch batter for Murphy, struck out. That's where we are now after the Yankees failed to score in their opening inning. And Righetti has slowed his pitching pace here in this first inning. He kicks and deals. Here's a foul out of play. It'll reach the seats. Good catch by a gentleman from Richmond. 3-2, that's the count on him. Johnson was the Oakland player in the first game, you remember, who said his bat was chipped, and that caused a little controversy about delaying the game. Nick Brummigan said, well, it really was chipped. Nick, the umpire. Here's the set now, the pitch to Cliff, swung on and fouled away. The bats these days are all made of ash. In earlier days, some of the players liked to use hickory, but hickory is so heavy now that none of the modern players likes to use a hickory bat. Joe Sewell, the great infielder, Hall of Famer, used the same bat for 14 years. 3-2 to count on Johnson. Man on second base. 1 out, no score. The pitch is high. He walked it. Now it's the Oakland turn to threaten. Man on first and a man on second. 1 man down, and their leading RBI and home run hitter, Tony Armas, steps up. The A's have not had a home run in these 2 games. Armas has 1 hit and 8 trips for the 2 games. He drew the collar yesterday and went 0 for 4. The infield double played up for the Yankees. The Yankees threatened and did not score in their first inning, and now Oakland is threatening. Here's the pitch, and he takes a ball outside, high and away with a fastball. Armas scraping around with his spikes in the batter's box, not quite ready to get back in there. Set by the left-hander, and the pitch on the way. He swings and fouls it to the screen behind the plate, 1-1. In 7 postseason games, the A's outfield batting a collective .357. And going and getting everything in the field that can possibly be caught. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Armas takes. It's a strike, a breaking ball over. Armas is the Oakland player, hit that long drive to left early in the game yesterday, and Winfield climbed the fence and robbed him of a home run. Now Righetti ahead of him, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tony Armas. Here's the pitch. He swings on the bounding ball to short. Milbourne over to Randolph. 1, relay to first. A Yankee double play, and the Oakland threat is over. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, no errors, and 1 man left. And at the end of 1, the game's scoreless. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is WYRFM Mount Carmel. It's 8 o'clock.
Change in the outfield for Oakland. Rick Cerone, who came into bat for the injured Dwayne Murphy, will replace him in center field. No score as we go to the 2nd inning in Oakland. Against the Yankees this season, Matt Keough won 2 and lost none. He has a lifetime mark of 4-1 against them. Bob Watson will be the first man to face him. Watson 2 for 7 in the series. And the right-hand batting first striker takes the ball in too close. It'll be Watson, Cerone, and then the bottom man in the batting order, Willie Randolph. All 3 are right-hand hitters. Here's the pitch. He swings, and there's a line drive speared by Klutts with a leap at third. Up in the air, and he came down with the baseball. Here's Cerone looking for his first hit. In this series, he's 0 for 6 in the 2 games. Outfield around toward left on Rick, and he steps out for a moment. Klutts will be at third base about even with the bag and wide of it. The other infielders are back. Here's the windup by Keough. He delivers. It is a breaking ball in for a strike. Mr. Newdecker said so. Slight breeze blowing across the field from the left field corner toward the right. Fine, enthusiastic turnout here at the Coliseum in Oakland. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Cerone takes a breaking ball in the dirt. And they count 1-1. Cerone asking Newdecker to look that one over. He does, keeps it in play, and Matty Keough rubs it up a little bit before he gets ready to pitch. Cerone waiting on the 1-1 delivery. He cuts, and it's a bounding foul down past third. Attendance has been great in this ballpark, and the enthusiasm has been high, too, under the new ownership. Billy Martin now the manager and general manager. Here's the pitch. He takes a half cut, and that's ruled a ball. He checked in time. 2-2 the count on Cerone. That was a dipping curve in the dirt, and it fooled him, but he held up in time. Klutts has backed up deep at third. Each team threatened in the opening inning, but neither team able to score. Here's the windup by Keough. He pitches. It is a foul out of play. The Yankees loaded the bases on a single and 2 walks. Nettles hit a fly ball in the right field corner that was misjudged by Armas, but he caught it for the final out of the inning. And then Oakland got their leadoff man Henderson on with a single. On the strikeout of Vicente, he stole second. Johnson then walked, and it looked as if the A's might do something against Righetti. But he induced Armas to hit into a double play, short to second to first, and that was all for the A's in their first inning. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Cerone. And he takes the ball low, breaking ball. Keough, so far, has not been getting his breaking stuff over very well. Sinker curveball pitcher. Right-hander delivers, and there's a fly ball lifted to center. Vicente backs up 3 steps. He's there waiting. He has it. And there are 2 down for the Yankees in their second inning. That'll bring up Willie Randolph, hitting in the number 9 slot. right-hand batting second baseman, with 2 for 8 in the 2-game set. He had both those hits yesterday. They're going to move the center fielder Vignetti just a little bit over toward right. He's almost up the middle against Willie. And the third baseman Klutts in on the inner grass in case Randolph wants to bunt. There's a breaking pitch that grabs the inside corner. Strike one. No score. We're in the second inning. The Yankees batted Oakland. They have won the first 2 games of this series. Keough, the right-hander, delivers. There's a bunt toward third. It'll roll foul. Well, Klutts is in close, and that one he didn't have a chance on because it rolled into foul territory. Now it's a strike 2 count on Willie Randolph. Willie was hurt a part of this year. In fact, when he was hurt, the Milbourne took over at second. And then after Larry had played a few games at second base, Bucky Dent got hurt, and they moved the Milbourne to short. And he stayed there since then. Here's a strike 2 pitch. Watch out in tight under the chin. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Keough works off the third base side of the slab, gets his sign. Into action he goes. He pitches. It is a ball in the dirt. 2-2 the count on Willie Randolph. 1979 was a rough year for Keough. He won 2 and lost 17. He had 14 straight losses. And then that streak went to 18, combining part of the next season. Here's the pitch on the way. Swung on a bounding ball to left. A base hit past the glove of Picciolo, who went to his right but couldn't get there.
Randolph is hitting much better against Oakland pitching than he did against Milwaukee. He was only 4 out of 20 against Milwaukee. And was hitting so poorly they dropped him to the number 9 spot out of the number 1 spot in the batting order. He's swinging the bat now, Ernie.
Yes, sir, and he has 3 for 9, and that'll happen sometimes. A man finds a spot that's a little more fitting for him in the batting order, and apparently Mr. Randolph has. There's a throw to first. He's back in time. Here's Mumphrey, who's the leadoff man now. He struck out. He took a called third strike the first time up. Throw to first, and Randolph bounces back. No score. We're in the second inning in Oakland. The Yankees have a man on and 2 out. Here's the set by Keough. Flip to first, and back for the head first slide is Randolph. Klutts is still in close at third base on the left-hand batter. Mumphrey, a switch batter, batting left-handed. Now the set by Matt Keough, and the pitch. Mumphrey takes. It's a strike on the outside corner. Mumphrey out from the middle of September almost to the end of the season with a sprained ankle. This is his first year with the Yankees, and it was a good one. He batted .307. Pitch is swung on, base hit, center field. Here's Randolph racing around second. Vignetti up with the ball, fires it into Picciolo, who cuts it off. Runners at first and third for the Yanks. Oh, they picked up back-to-back singles with 2 out in the second inning, and that sets the table for one of the hot Yankee hitters, Larry Milbourne. Milbourne now has 6 hits and 10 trips in the series. That's the third Yankee hit. Milbourne got the first one. All 3 have been singles. He has 10 for 15 on the postseason games. Quite a batting record. Switch batter batting left-handed. And he swings at the bounding ball, stopped at first base by Moore on a good play, makes the play on the distance, and the Oakland team stays out of trouble again. No runs, 2 hits for New York, no errors. They leave 2, and at the end of 1.5 innings, the game still scoreless. If the A's win tonight and make the 4th game of this series necessary, it'll be tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. And Kirk Gotti and I will be here for that one. And Game 3 of the National League's Western Championship Series between Los Angeles and Montreal can be heard tomorrow at 8:10 Eastern Time. Join Jack Buck and Jerry Coleman for all the play-by-play action over most of these CBS radio network stations. Hear it here.
Leadoff, number 9,
Mickey Klutts, the third baseman, with 1 for 2 in the game yesterday, 3 for 5 in the pair of games, will face the young left-hander of the Yankees, Dave Righetti. Jerry Mumphrey wants to look at that baseball before they get the last half of the second underway, and he takes it out of play. Mumphrey joined the American League back in '66. Makes his home now in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Here's Righetti into action, delivers, and it is a breaking ball on the inside corner, strike one. Klutts followed by Kelvin Moore, then Dave McKay. There's a ball low, curve in the dirt, 1-1. The light would be even tougher now than it was before, I think, Kurt. It's getting dusk time here.
This is a bad time of day for a lot of things, especially driving also.
Here's the wind-up, the pitch, swing, a bounding ball to short. Grabbed by Milbourne, throw to first. He got him, and Nettles made a diving effort to cut the ball off. It's probably better for the Yankees that he didn't, because he was in the dirt. And the Milbourne made a good play, going deep to his right.
You can't say enough about Milbourne. Stepping into a tough spot, replacing Bucky Dent, who's been a clutch player for the Yankees in postseason play, and down the stretch runs in pennant races. Milbourne's done it all. He has hit, and he is fielding beautifully.
Here's Kelvin Moore, the right-handed batting first baseman from Alabama, takes the ball outside. Kelvin, without a hit in this series, 0 for 7. Left-hander Righetti on the mound, delivers. There's a fastball. It is over, but it's low. 2-0, the count on Moore. This game scoreless in the second. The Yankees have threatened in each of their innings. Oakland threatened in their first inning and didn't score. Now they're at bat in the second. There's a cut and a miss on a hard one in on the hand. 2-1, the count on him. McKay waits at the on-deck circle. He's a switch batter. Outfield bunching up the middle on Moore. Here's a pitch. He takes a fastball high. 3-1. Great minor league home run, a power hitting record for Kelvin Moore. Here's the 3-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. They let him cut away on 3-1, and that pulls the count up to 3-2. 1 out, nobody on, no score. Oakland batting in the second inning. Nettles is deep at third. The other infielders are also back. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. Swing, base hit, right field. A line shot between Randolph and Watson, fielded by Gamble, the right fielder. That is the second hit for the A's. Each has been a single. Dave McKay, the switch batting second baseman, moving up to the batting area. Dave had 2 for 4 yesterday. Did not get a hit in the opening game. He's 2 for 8 in the series. Native of Vancouver, British Columbia. Makes his home now in Scottsdale, Arizona. Batting right-handed, and the pitch is taken for a strike, about belt high. Kay broke in with the Minnesota Twins. He sent him back to the minors. He became a pinch batter while at Tacoma. Then Toronto acquired him. Then he came from there to Oakland. There's a check swing. It's a strike. He got a curve on the inside corner. 2 quick strikes on McKay.
I thought Lou Piniella had a good comment before the game, Ernie, the Yankee veteran. Said, listen, we don't expect to come in here and roll all over these fellas. We're not going to let down. Never let a bunch of kids get back in it. When you expect to come in here and roll all over these fellas, we're not going to let down. Never let a bunch of kids get back in it. When you do, they might beat you all the way.
Outside pitch, 1-2 now to count on him.
What he was saying, if the A's could win tonight, they're going to get some added confidence.
Good point. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a drive to right. It'll be a hit. Moore holds at second. Here's the throw by Gamble back into the infield, and the Oakland A's are kicking up their heels now. They've got 2 on and 1 away, and Newman, the catcher, will be the batter. Each team with 3 hits. All 6 hits in the game have been singles. Each team has threatened in each of the first 2 innings. Now Righetti does not like that baseball. He wants another one. Newman is 0 for 2. He didn't play yesterday. Went 0 for 2 in the opening game of the series. Now time call. They want to move the second base umpire, Durwood Merrill, over toward the shortstop side of second. Moore at second, McKay at first base. No score. We're in the second inning. Here's the pitch, and it is high and away on Newman. Moore keeping an eye on the left-hander as he comes down off second base. Here's the set by Righetti. He pitches. Newman swings and doesn't get it. 1-1. He went right through the fastball. Picciolo waiting on deck. This is the bottom part of Billy Martin's batting order. Newman bats number 8. Set by Righetti, the 1-1 pitch. He swings and misses on a letter high pitch that broke in on him. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jeff Newman. One-time Cleveland Indian property. Jeff Newman waiting on a 1-2 delivery from the Yankee left-hander Righetti. 2 men on, a 1 man down, no score. Here's a pitch. Swing and a foul upstairs. Back at the plate. Henderson, Moore, and McKay have the hits for Oakland. Mumphrey, Milbourne, and Randolph have the hits for the Yankees. But nobody's crossed the plate yet in this one. There's been some traffic on the bases. Here's the set by Righetti, the 1-2 pitch. Newman takes. It is in too close to curve. 2-2 the count on Jeff. Jeff's been a catcher, first baseman. Here's the set now, waiting on a 2-2 delivery. Here it comes. He takes a curve and just missed the inside corner. That was close. Big bender. That end a little bit too much in on him, and the count is full. 3-2 with 1 out. Newman at bat. No score. Second inning. Runners are edging off. Moore at second. McKay at first base. The pitch is swung on and missed, and the runners hold on. He struck him out. That's the second strikeout for Righetti. And a wise move, it turned out, not to send the runners.
Both these starting pitchers have worked hard. The Yankees left 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Righetti gave up a single and a walk in the first. He's given up 2 singles in this inning. Counts have been run to 2-2 and 3-2. So both starters are not having an easy time of it.
Rob Picciolo, the right-handed batting shortstop, up 1 for 3 in the series. There's the strike call. Rob didn't play yesterday. They alternate Stanley and Picciolo at shortstop. Each is a right-hand batter. Man on first, man on second. No score, no runs, 3 hits on each side. We're in the second inning. Righetti kicks and deals. Here's a strike. He started to go for that one, held off, and it hit the outside corner. 2 strikes on Rob Picciolo. Double play got Righetti out of trouble in the opening inning. 2 men on, 1 man out. The double play ended the threat. Now the Yankee left-hander kicks and delivers. It's a ball outside. He tried the same pitch but missed the outside corner. 1-2 on Rob Picciolo. Rob stands deep. Spreads out a little bit, bending the knees, waiting on the Yankee left-hander. He picks up his sign now from Cerone. The 1-2 pitch is due. Here it is. He takes it outside. 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 on the hitter. Last half of the second inning, no score. Outfield straight up, bunching toward the middle again. They give him the lines. Here's the set by Righetti. He holds it. He looks to second. He pitches. Picciolo swings and fouls it away. Good turnout, not capacity, but fairly close to it. Righetti ready to go to work again. The 2-2 pitch to Picciolo. Swings and fouls it off. Back at the plate. Hanging tough, and it's 2-2. Nettles over to yell something to his young pitcher. Now backs up. He'll be wide of the bag. All the infielders are deep. Waiting on another 2-2 delivery, and Picciolo cuts it. A bounding ball to third. It'll go foul. Well, this is turning out to be quite a duel between these two. Righetti using up more pitches.
Picciolo's record is a .366 batting average against left-handers, and he has some punch batting right against lefties. He's no real soft spot down there right now with Righetti, a left-hander on the mound.
2 men on, 2 men out. A base hit here by Oakland would send them in front. The right counter hit. Game scoreless. Here's the set and the pitch. Picciolo swings at a bounding ball, deep third. Nettles grabs it, throws to second to Randolph. The force out achieved on McKay, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left, and at the end of 2, the game is still scoreless. Well, where will you be on the eve of the World Series? Well, you are. Tune in to CBS Radio for the 1981 World Series preview with Win Elliott. Get set for exciting days ahead. The preview on Monday evening, October 19th. Then live coverage of the World Series on most of these stations. Hear it here. Keough ready to go to work now. Third inning. The game is scoreless. Keough has thrown a total of 40 pitches. 19 balls and 21 strikes. His pitching rival Righetti has worked a little harder. He has thrown a total of 50 pitches through the first 2 innings. 18 out of the strike zone, and 32 were strikes. Red Barrett, the old Boston Brave pitcher one time, pitched a 9-inning ball game, won it, and threw 52 pitches. Righetti has thrown just 2 less than that in 2 innings. Here's Winfield. He hit a vicious line drive to the left fielder Henderson his only time at bat. Hit the ball very hard, but right to Henderson's glove. Outfield pulled around to left on him. Dave likes to take his time settling himself into the batter's box, making Keough wait on him. It's the 3rd inning of the game, scoreless. No runs, 3 hits, no errors on each side. Curve in too close. Ball 1 on Dave Winfield. Milbourne now has more hits than any other player in the series. 2 and a fraction games. He has 6 hits. Now they wind up, and the pitch on the way. It's a ground ball towards short. Picciolo waits for the hop. Throw to first. It's the wild one. It's catch by Moore. He's backed up now by McKay. Winfield takes second and turns and holds on at second base.
Winfield really hustled down that line and did not falter. When he saw the throw out of the corner of his eye go by first base, he had made the big turn, and he hustled right into second.
It'll be a shortstop's error. Picciolo charged with the error, allowing Winfield to reach second with nobody down. He fielded the ball cleanly, but threw in the dirt, and Kelvin Moore couldn't come up with it. Here's Bobby Murcer, who drew a walk in the opening inning. Oh, the Yankees have a man on second. They've had one at least that far in every inning. No score in the 3rd. Murcer takes a fastball outside. A's have had a man at second base in each of the first 2 innings. Klutts in close at 3rd. in case Bobby wants to lay one down. And the pitch is wide to Murcer, 2-0. Here's the report on Murphy. He had a back spasm on the left side and had to be removed from the game, but said he took his place in the outfield. Murcer with a 2-0 advantage now, waiting on Matt Keough. Here's the pitch. He takes a strike, letter high toward the outside. Oscar Gamble waiting on deck. Keough gets his sign from Newman, ready to go into action again. Delivers. Here's a foul back to the screen. He just got a piece of the fastball. 2-2 the count on Bobby Murcer. Yankees left 5 runners in the first 2 innings. Oakland left 3 runners, and they were the victims of a double play in the first inning. Lots of traffic out there on the bases. Now Murcer stepped back in to wait on a 2-2 delivery. Here's the set by Matty Keough, and the pitch on the way. Murcer swings and taps the foul in the dirt. Going for an outside delivery. Trying to keep Winfield close at second. Picciolo ducking behind him from time to time. Jerry Mumphrey, one of the American League umpires who still uses the old-fashioned inflated chest protector. Most of them now use the inside protector. Here's the set. The 2-2 pitch is coming up. Here it is. He swings, and there's a tapper. Hit the Picciolo at short. Gloves it. Throw to first. Got him, and on to third goes Winfield. He fielded the ball near second base. On a high, slow hopper, fired it over to Moore in time. Winfield takes third on the bounce out. Here's Gamble. He walks to load the bases in the opening inning. Billy Martin's going to pull his infield in with 1 away.
Sometimes a gamble in the early innings.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of managers don't like to do that this early. Now the wind-up and the pitch. It is a ball low.
Ground ball goes through the drawn-in infield. They don't have time to range to their left or right. That ball can go through. The runner could score, and a man on. It could be the start of maybe a big inning.
Here's the motion now by Keough. He pitches, and there's a line shot right to the second baseman McKay. So it works for Billy Martin's company, and holding at third is Winfield.
He'd have been out anyway if the infield had been playing back. That ball was hanging up, and the second baseman, Dave McKay, would have been able to take it maybe around the knees out there, deeper.
Here's Nettles. He had a fly ball to the right field corner. Armas seemed to have a little trouble with it. That was Nettles' only time at bat. Armas raced over to the glove side and hauled it in to leave 3 men stranded on the bases for the Yanks. Here's the windup, the pitch to Nettles, and he swings and fouls it away. It'll be in the seat. Keough got a ball he didn't like and got a new one. One-time home run leader in the American League, Graig Nettles. Gold Glove winner. Great all-around performer. Here's the motion and the pitch on the way. It is a strike. Mr. Newdecker said so. Newman goes halfway out there to say something to his pitcher, Keough. Man at third is Winfield. No score. We're in the third inning. The Yankees again are threatening. Here's the motion. Here's the pitch. High and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nettles. Time called at the plate by Newdecker, the umpire. Keough waiting on Nettles to get back into the batter's box. No runs, 3 hits on each side. 1 error in the game occurred in this inning. Picciolo committed it. That allowed Winfield to get the third with this 2-out situation. Matty Keough into action delivers. There's a bounding ball hit towards second. McKay charges, flips it over to first. No runs, no hits, 1 error. A man left at third for New York. We go to the last half to third. The game still scoreless. Henderson, the leadoff man, will assume that role here in the third for the Oakland A's. He singled in the first inning. Dave Righetti on the mound with the Yankees. This game is scoreless. Each team with no runs and 3 hits. The A's have been charged with the only error of the game. The A's have had scoring chances in the first 2 innings.
Henderson's a very impressive young player. He's hit safely down every game of the series. Got a good eye at the plate, and when he gets on, of course, he can ignite something for you on the bases. He'll be 23 years old this Christmas. What a future he has ahead of him, Ernie.
Yes, sirree. Had a single his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Wind up, and the pitch to Rickey is a curve outside. It's with a good amount of power, too. It's the ball up the alley a good deal. Time called at the plate by umpire Jerry Newdecker. He seemed to be talking to Cerone about something. Henderson not quite ready. He spreads out at the plate. And he takes a ball outside. He'll hit the right field quite a bit, which is good when you want to get away from the plate. The man who hits the right field as a right-hand batter will get a better getaway than the pull hitter. 2-0, the count on Rickey Henderson. The windup in the pitch is a ball low fastball. 3-0 on the leadoff man.
Well, you're just asking for trouble to let him start an inning by getting on.
Rick Cerone will be the next batter. Here's the windup by Righetti. And the pitch is a ball low. He's on for the walk. That's the second walk issued by the left-hander Righetti. So now it's Righetti against Cerone. Cerone came in to bat for Murphy in the opening inning, struck out, but that strikeout was charged as a time at bat against Murphy because he had 2 strikes against him when he left the game. Right-hand batter against the left-hander, no score, 3rd inning, man at first, throw to first, he's back in time. Quick toss over there. Righetti almost threw it away. Watson holding on the bag with Henderson. Henderson picked up a stolen base in the first inning. Lengthened his lead. Doesn't go. The pitch is popped in the air on the right side of the infield. Randolph is under it, waiting, and makes the catch for the out. Cerone pops to second. That'll bring up Johnson. Big clip to walk his first time at bat. 34-year-old veteran, right-hand batting Cliff Johnson. Outfield deep to left on him, and the infield will be in double play depth. He's not quite ready, and he's talking still with Jerry Newdecker back at the plate. Righetti taking his time before delivering. Man on and the man out, no score in the third. The pitch is a ball low and too close to the fastball. Righetti continues to throw a lot of pitches here in the early going.
Tough man Johnson against left-handers. He has power and he likes lefty pitching.
Now the set, the kick, the pitch. Henderson goes, fastball high, throw to second. Safe. Stolen base number 2 for Rickey.
He had another good jump. It was an excellent throw by Cerone with something on it. But once he accelerates and gets that first step, goodbye. He has now stolen 2 bases. He's been on base twice. 4 stolen bases in postseason play.
Johnson steps out, takes a couple of practice swings. This is the 3rd straight inning. The A's have had a man at second base. Yankees have had 2 men as far as third, and in the other inning, they had a man at second. Still, there's no score in the game. 2-0 pitch to Cliff Johnson. Strike, inside corner fastball. Getting a little cooler now. The sun is set here. That's that deep purple look over the hills behind the center field area. Henderson leading down off second base. No score. Here's the pitch. Swung on and lifted foul out of play into the seats.
One of my favorite songs. That deep, that deep purple night.
Beautiful.
A lot of folks don't know that Ernie Harwell's a composer.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
He has written more no-hits games. Now, you published some songs. I know you have.
Yeah, we've had about 35 records. It's fun. Here's Johnson stepping up now. 2-2 the count on him. This big crowd yelling for action. No score, 3rd inning. There goes Henderson. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. Yet third base stolen.
He had it stolen. A tremendous jump on Righetti, who forgot about him out of second base. And Henderson was nearly in the 3rd with 1 out. But Johnson had a pitch to him, and he wanted a piece of it and fouled it back.
And Johnson, Kurt seems to be hobbling a little bit. When he went for his bat, he lost his bat, and he's hurting again. I guess that hip's bothering him.
Right.
The left hip that he hurt sliding in the first game at Yankee Stadium. Taking a lot of time before he gets back in there. 2-2 the count on Cliff Johnson. Henderson coming down the line from second again. A pretty fair-sized lead set by Righetti. He looks back there to check him. Henderson bluffs to go, and the ball is hit foul and out of play. It'll drop into the seats behind the Yankee dugout on the first base side.
A fellow like Henderson can keep you on edge in the mound. Righetti, visibly bothered by him, keeps glancing back, steps off the rubber now and then, wants to be sure that he's holding him tight enough. And what it's doing, I think, is bothering a little concentration up on the hitter.
Yeah, that's right. You've certain to take your mind off things for a moment or so, that split second. Johnson is still hurting. You can look down there and just feel that he's aching a little bit. He takes his time, and Righetti gets a new baseball to work with. No score. We're in the 3rd inning. The Oakland A's are threatening to break through the scoreless barrier here with 1 out of man at second base. Henderson leading down the line again. Righetti peers into Cerone to get his sign. Here's the set for the young left-hander. He looks to second. He pitches, and Johnson pops it up. Over toward first base, Randolph and Watson are there, and it is Watson in front of Randolph to make the catch. Well, a walk, a steal, and 2 pop-ups to the right side of the infield. That's the story of this inning right now. Here comes Tony Armas, who hit into a double play in the first inning. He came up with 2 men on and 1 man out, and hit a ground ball to shortstop. Milbourne converted it into the inning-ending double play.
He grounded into 2 force plays in the second game. In the first game, he had 1 ball up in the air, struck out 3 times. Now, he's about due for something.
Right-hand batter waiting. The pitch to Armas, cut on and missed. He uses the entire field for his hits. They have to guard all exits against him. He likes to pitch from the middle of the plate on in. Generally, they throw him breaking balls away. Left-handed pitching tonight against him. There's a fastball fouled away to the outside of the plate. He fouls it back of the seats. 2 quick strikes on Armas. Righetti has not been getting ahead of many of the hitters. Been behind on most, but he's up in front on this one. Henderson still at second with his walk and stolen base. 3rd inning, the game is scoreless. Here's the set by Righetti. The Yankee left-hander holds it. now delivers, and it is a ball outside, 1-2. Mickey Klutts waiting at the on-deck circle. One-two pitch coming. Here it is. It's on the way. He takes the high one. 2-2, the count on Tony Armas. One-time Pittsburgh property. He was an excellent acquisition for the Oakland team. Never really had an injury-free season until last year when he came into his own. Little plate dusting by Mr. Dudecka. We're ready now to resume action with a 2-2 pitch coming from Righetti to Armas. He takes the cut and strikes out. The curveball fooled him, broke it in on the hands, and that's all for the A's in the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left at the end of three. Yankees nothing, the A's nothing. Fourth inning on tap at the Coliseum in Oakland. The game is scoreless. Numerous threats by each team. Nobody's been able to push one across the plate, and it'll be Watson to lead off for the Yankees against Keough. Here as the fourth inning gets started. Dudecka getting that ball that Keough wanted to use, and he tosses it out of play. In 3 innings, Keough has thrown 54 pitches, and Righetti has used a total of 68.
A lot of pitches for Righetti. Too many pitches for both of them at this stage.
Here's a Watson, and he looks at a slow curveball in too close on Robert. Ball 1.
I doubt if either will be going the distance. What do you think, Ern?
Well, it's taken a lot out of him. Probably not. Here's the pitch swung on. There's a line drive to left field. It's a fair ball in the corner. Carom played by Henderson, and he holds him to a single. What a play by that left fielder.
Well, they've got a gold plate outfield. Although Dwayne Murphy's not in there now. When he's in there, he covers everything from foul line to foul line in center. Henderson has been a center fielder. He plays left now. He's got a good arm. He charges the ground ball. He went and picked that one out of the corner. And Armas can go get him with a strong throwing arm and right. I think this was, without a doubt, the best defensive outfield in baseball. Watson is not a fast man, so he didn't gamble going on to second.
Here's Cerone at the plate now. He has failed to hit in the series so far, 0 for 1 in this game. Fly to center his first trip, takes a slow curve in for a strike. When that ball was hit to the left field corner, you would ordinarily automatically think two-base hit, but you've got to remember that Henderson's playing out there. Klutts is in close, looking for the bump possibility from Rick Cerone. Moore holding on the bag with Watson at first base. He's not getting much of a lead. Set by Keough. The pitch swung on a little tapper, hit toward third base, gloved by the third baseman. The throw to second in time, and he took him out with a heavy slide in. Watson cut Picciolo's feet out from under him, McKay's feet out from under him with a hard slide. So it's a force out.
That was
the third baseman the second.
National Football League block, but it was legal. He didn't go out of the way, out of the baseline to get him. He was standing right there, and that's what Watson was supposed to do.
Klutts fielded that ball over near the mound, cutting it off in front of the shortstop. Well, here's Randolph with a single, his only time at bat. Infield is still up a little bit. And the third baseman, Klutts, is in close. Cerone trying to establish a lead at first base. The game is scoreless. We're in the fourth inning in Oakland. There's a breaking ball. It's over, but low, ball 1. The Yanks have no runs, 4 hits, and no errors. The A's no runs, 3 hits, and they've made 1 error. It is now dark here at the Coliseum. They're moving the center fielder Bassetti over toward right a little bit more to his glove side on Willie Randolph. Here's the set. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. They sent Cerone, and Randolph fouled the ball back in the seat.
And Cerone had a pretty good jump, Ernie.
He did. They want to avoid that double play. All 7 hits in this game have been singles. Randolph digging in. He's 1 for 1 for the game. Here's the set by Matty Keough. And the lean right-hander deals a bounding ball up the middle. There goes the shortstop Picciolo. Flips it back to McKay. A beautiful play for the force out. He cut that one off back in short center field. Just past the cut of the diamond. He grabbed the ball, flipped it back to McKay for the force out on Cerone.
I think that's the best infield play we've seen in this series so far. That ball was right in back of the bag, headed through to center. Picciolo reached out with his gloved hand and stabbed it, and then did a backhand flip to the second baseman.
Here's Mumphrey, the switch batting leadoff man who plays center field. He struck out in single, 1 for 2 for Jerry. Throw to first, and Randolph back safely. Randolph's a good base runner. Kelvin Moore, the first sacker, holding over there with him. There's another throw. He's back without a slide. No runs, 4 hits for New York. No runs and 3 hits for the A's. It is the 4th inning at the Coliseum in Oakland. The 3rd game of the series. Yankees lead it 2 victories to none. Low and away. That pitch, ball 1. The count on him. Mumphrey now has 6 hits in the series. He and the man who will bat next, Milbourne, tied for the most. Throw to first. He's back in time. Keough gets his sign, ready to go again. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-1, the count on Mumphrey. Third baseman Klutts into the inner grass, wide of the bag. Keystone combination up a step or so. Randolph's getting a longer lead at first base. There's a pass ball wide, and the count is 2-1. Pitch outside, and the count is 3-1. A bluff by Randolph if he held on at first base. Keough behind on the hitter. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Issued both the walks in the first inning when the Yankees loaded the bases and left 3. The Yankees have left 6 men on so far. There goes Randolph, and the pitch is low. He walked him. 2 men on. Walk number 3 of Matty Keough. And here's a man who's been tough for the stick, Larry Milbourne. A single and the bounce to first base. Hit the ball very hard when Moore retired him the second time he batted in the second inning. Another batter who uses the entire field. He'll go to left field quite a bit, especially from this side of the plate. Go to the opposite side. Infield up a step or so in respect to Milbourne's speed. 2 on, 2 out, and he takes a strike. Winfield waiting on deck. The game is scoreless in the 4th inning in Oakland. Here's a foul fly out of play. Back up there. The 4th inning has been the Yankee inning so far. They had 7 yesterday in the 4th, and twice against Milwaukee they scored 4 runs. They've got 2 men on right now and 2 men out. A strike 2 count on Larry Milbourne. Let's see what Keough will give him. Here's the right-handed set. He pitches. It's high and outside. Of 35 runs the Yankees have scored in 7 postseason games, 17 have been scored in the 4th inning. Now the 1-2 count on Milbourne. Here it comes. He swings the tapper, hit the first. Moore has an easy play. Makes it unassisted, and the Yankees are out. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, no errors. They leave 2. We go to the last half of the 4th. The game's still without a score. Last half of the 4th inning. The game scoreless. Klutts will lead it off. Mickey has a bounce to shortstop, his only trip. Armas has supposedly been the big gun on this Oakland team, but after getting a hit the first time up, he has gone 0 for the next 9. And that has hurt the offensive chances of Oakland in the middle of that batting order. Here's Klutts. He's bounced to short his only trip. Right-hand batter. Righetti delivers, and it is a cut and a miss on a breaking ball in on the hands. 3 hits, all of them singles for the A's. Henderson, Moore, and McKay. Moore and McKay back-to-back singles. In too close on Mickey Klutts. 1-1 the count on him. Outfield a little bit to left on Mickey. Here's the windup and the pitch. He swings and taps one toward third. Nettles charging. He let it roll. It'll go foul. Would not have had a chance on that one, but it rolled into foul territory, and it'll just be a strike. 1-2 the count. Klutts is a fastball hitter, likes the high pitch, and he's a pretty good bull hitter. One-time Yankee property, traded for Gary Thomason, along with Del Austin and Cash. That was back in the middle of June in '78. Been injured a lot in his career. There's a pitch, swing, and a foul back at the plate. Had knee surgery and spent most of the '81 season on the disabled list. Righetti ready to go to work again. Delivers. Here's a tap foul on a check swing. He gave him a high curve. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Klutts. Native Californian. Gene Ellis Klutts. Hear the crowd now in the background yelling for some runs. Here's the pitch in too close. 2-2 the count on him. Starters still in there, each throwing a lot of pitches here in the early innings. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Tried to sneak the fastball by him, but he protected the plate. Nettles is deep near the line. All the infielders are back and the outfielder left. Righetti goes into action. The pitch. Swing, a little pop-up out towards second baseman Randolph, and he makes the play with ease. There's one away. Yankee outfielders haven't had a put-out yet. In the first inning was a strikeout and a double play. Ground ball, a strikeout, and the force out of the second. 2 pop-ups and a strikeout in the third, and the pop-out here in the fourth. Here's Kelvin Moore, the right-hand batting first baseman, singled right his only trip. And he takes a fastball in too close on him. Ball 1. 1980 at Ogden, Moore hit 25 home runs. Here's the pitch. He takes the strike. With 2 minor league clubs the year before that, Modesto and Waterbury hit 30 home runs. Right-hand batter waiting. It is a 1-1 count, and Moore takes it in too close. Right-hand batter, but he's got power to right center field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing. There's a drive to left. Winfield comes over, fields it on 1 hop, and Moore has his second hit. And Righetti has now thrown 80 pitches. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
This is WYR-FM Mount Carmel. It's 9 o'clock.
Here's McKay, who had a single his first time up. 1 for 1.
Ernie mentioned Righetti had thrown 80 pitches so far. About 110 pitches in a 9-inning game is considered good. Anything over that, he's starting to get into a little more than they want him to.
As the toss to first, back in time is the run of Moore. You can hear the crowd now getting some excitement going here.
Well, that's that crazy George. He's running around here with a drum, and he really gets them fired up. I'll tell you about him. He's a retired school teacher, and he's all over this ballpark.
Throw to first. Back in time is the runner Moore.
Now they've got Santa Claus running down here.
How can you lose with Santa Claus on your side? Here's the set by Righetti. Swing and a foul on the screen.
Get Crazy George, Santa Claus, and Grandma Moses, you'll be all set.
Pretty good combination. Moore at first base, one man down. The game is scoreless. We're in the fourth inning in Oakland. And the chant coming up from this near-capacity crowd again. Infield and double played up for the Yankees. Here's the set by Righetti. He pitches. It is a half cut. Did he go? Umpire Newdecker checks, and the verdict is no, he didn't. McKay steps out. Now getting back in. Set by Righetti, 1-1 pitch. McKay takes the curve high. And all of a sudden, this crowd has become very vocal. Two balls and a strike. That's the count on Dave McKay. Newman will be the next batter.
You got to be in good shape to come to a game out here. They're up and down with these chairs.
There's a bounding ball to third. Nettles goes to second to round off one. Relay to Watson. It is a double play. The second Yankee double play of the Warning ball to third. Nettles goes to second to round off one. Relay to Watson. It is a double play. The second Yankee double play of the game, and the inning is over. No runs, one hit, no errors. Nobody lapped at it. The end of four. New York nothing and the A's nothing. No score. We're in the fifth inning. The totals are pretty close to being even. No runs, 4 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 4 hits for the A's. There's been one error in the game, and that's been charged to the A's, the shortstop Picciolo. Dave Winfield will lead it off for the Yankees in their fifth inning. Winfield is fly to left, and he reached second on the error by Picciolo. The Yankees have left a total of 8 on, and the A's have left 4 on, and they've been the victim of a Yankee double play twice in 4 innings. Two starters still in there. Keough for the A's and Righetti for the Yankees. Keough delivers in too close. That's the 70th pitch he's thrown now in 4 innings plus. Righetti in 4 innings, he used 84. Outfield pulled to left on Winfield. The big right-hand slugger digs in again. Wind up by Keough, the pitch on the way, and he ducks an inside curve, 2-0, the count on him. After Winfield, it'll be the cleanup man, Bobby Murcer, subbing for Reggie Jackson, who's out with an injury. And then Oscar Gamble will follow. Yankees lead in the series, 2 victories to none. They won both of those back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Now Keough slowing up a little bit on his pitching pace. He winds and pitches. It is a pass ball in the inside corner. And Winfield moved back, but it cut the corner on him. Big man from St. Paul, Minnesota. Great college athlete at the University of Minnesota. Here's the motion now by Keough. Winfield cuts. Is a fly ball to left. Henderson racing near the warning track. He has it. Got a big jump on that one, raced over and hauled in. Here's Bobby Murcer, the veteran, who's the DH tonight. He's walked and bounced to shortstop. Big curve from Keough, stays outside. Ball one on Bobby. No runs, 4 hits for each side. We're in the 5th inning in Oakland. And the pitch on the way. He takes a strike right through the heart of the plate. Better high.
Keough's throwing much looser now and with more confidence and getting a ball over better than he did in the first 2 innings.
Outfield bunching up the middle on Murcer. Third baseman Klutts into the inner grass. Murcer takes a breaking ball wide to 2-1. Sort of a strange shutout game so far. The 2 teams have hit better than the score indicates. There's the strike. Swinging.
All these 3 games have been strange.
They have. Other 2, the scoring came fairly early. Yankees got their 3 runs in the first game in the first inning, then broke it open yesterday with the 4th inning surge when they scored 7. There's a pitch outside. 3-2 the count on Bobby Murcer. Now Keough taking more time before this full count delivery. He winds, he deals. There's a squeeze. Struck him out. Strikeout for Keough, and the first one came from the leadoff man, Mumphrey, who started the ball game panning. Here's Gamble. He's walked in line to the second baseman, McKay. With a man at third and 1 out, Oscar hit a vicious line drive right to McKay, the second baseman in the drawn-in infield. Left-hand batter waiting, 2 out, nobody on. Big curve hangs high and away on Gamble. Ball 1. The much-traveled veteran hits with tremendous power. Here's the windup and the pitch. It is a breaking ball over but low. 2-0 on Oscar. In the second inning, Keough got the first 2 men out and then had 2 singles. He has 2 down now, nobody on in the 5th inning. Fastball very wide at 3-0, the count on Gamble. Nettles will follow. They've got the center fielder Bassetti over in right center on Oscar Gamble. Infield deep. Now the 3-0 delivery coming to Gamble. And he's taking it to strike. Through the heart of the plate, about letter high. Jeff Newman, the catcher tonight. No score, 5th inning. Gamble takes, he gets a walk. It was outside. That's the 4th walk issued by Keough. And Nettles comes up with 0 for 2. Nettles, the hitting hero in the first 2 games, had a 3-run double to score the runs in the opening inning of the first game. The Yankees went on to hold that lead and win it. Then he hit a 3-run homer yesterday and had 4 for 4. But he's 0 for 2 in this one. He takes the ball low. It bounds away from Newman. Starting for second is Gamble. He gets back to first as Newman recovers and fires the ball to Moore. Good quick pickup by Newman as the ball bounded away from him. Now Keough's been stricken by a little streak of wildness here. He walked Gamble. That pitch was very wide on Nettles and in the dirt. He goes to the set position, delivers. There's a foul out of play. It'll be into the upper deck to the left of the plate. No runs, 4 hits on each side. We're in the 5th inning in Oakland. And a little bullpen activity early for the Oakland team. Jeff Jones got up, but that's the only thing that's been happening in the bullpen. So far, the manager's content to go along with their starters. They've had a struggle, but they've held the game scoreless. Nettles not quite ready to resettle. Now he's back in the batter's box. Gamble trying to get a lead at first base. They've got McKay back in right field on Nettles. Here's a ball outside. He's about 10 yards back on the grass and right. In what would be the hole between first and second, since they've got Moore holding on the bag with Gamble. Then they pull Picciolo over to his glove side near second base. The third baseman Klutts deep and over toward short. Almost a shift on Nettles. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he takes a strike on the outside. No, that's a ball. Too far away. 3-1. 3-1 on Graig. Now Keough working from behind the count. Gamble looking at him, getting a lead. The pitch to Nettles, swung on and popped in the air. Third baseman Klutts is under it on the skin of the infield. He makes the catch, and the side's retired. Only a walk in the 5th inning for the Yankees. They leave 1, and at the end of 4 1/2, the game remains scoreless. Thank you, John. And the news here at Oakland is no score as the A's come to bat in the 5th inning. It's our pleasure now to relax with you folks, and we'll all enjoy hearing from Kurt Gowdy.
Thank you, Ernie Harwell. Jeff Newman, batting 8 for the A's, struck out his first time. Keough has now thrown 89 pitches in his 5 innings. A swinging strength to Jeff Newman. Righetti's up there with in 4 innings with 81 pitches. About 110-15 pitches is normal for a 9-inning game. So you can see these two fellas have just about pitched the ball game already. Not quite. And I doubt if either one of them will last. If they do, it'll be a gritty performance. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeff Newman. The Yankees have Ron Davis if they need him for middle innings. There's a pitch that's high for ball 2, and then Gossage. And that's a bad combo if you're on the other side. Jeff Jones is warming up earlier for Oakland. Foul ball hit off the end of the bat. He just didn't quite get around on it enough. 2 balls and 2 strikes to right-handed batter Jeff Newman. Temperature dropping slightly, but it's going to be a nice evening as long as the fog doesn't come in. That famous line, the fog came in on Cat's feet to Carl Sandburg. Bone. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Newman broke a bat and went back. Rob Picciolo is going to be the on-deck batter, and then we'll go to the top of the order and pick up Rickey Henderson. Now remember, the A's must win tonight or the Yankees are American League champs. Yankees need only 1 more win to capture the best 3 out of 5. A high fly, left field, Winfield trotting in, an easy chance for him, and he squeezes it for the first out in the last of the 5th inning. That brings to the plate Rob Picciolo, who hit into a force play his first time.
Shortstop, Rob Picciolo.
Lanky Dave Righetti. His pitching. Former scrawny high school kid from San Jose. still a bit on the scrawny side. Charlie Silvera, the old Yankee catcher and scout, had him throw to him. He said, I wanted to judge his speed. Find out if his fastball were alive, if he could add a curve. He impressed us. But the Yankees didn't get him. Texas wound up with him. Drafted by the Rangers, but then they got rid of him when they traded him to the Yankees. That's a comebacker right to the belt of the pitcher. Righetti throws wide. Stepping on the bag, though, is Bob Watson, and there's 2 down. Top of the order, Rickey Henderson has been on twice, and after reaching each time, he has stolen a base. Single in the first, walked in the third. Our score, 0-0, last of the 5th inning. Each team with 4 hits. The A's have had the only error. Steve Rogers, who pitched such great ball down the stretch for Montreal. He beat Steve Carlson twice. He clinched the division berth in the playoffs with a 2-hitter over the Mets. And I think Royce is scheduled to go for the Dodgers. Montreal might have a slight edge now. They beat Valenzuela last night. And they've been tough at home, but who knows? 2 down, nobody on. Rickey Henderson looks at an inside fastball, 1-0. We mentioned Righetti will probably be the Rookie of the Year in the American League. That's high, ball 2. He was in the minors last year at the Yankee Farm Club in Columbus. It was disappointing. He was wild. They didn't call him up till he had curbed his wildness. Foul ball back there. Baseball has given our language many of its terms and its lingo. I struck out, go out there, men, and hit a home run. And one of the cliches you always hear is wild as a young left-hander. Pitches a ball, 3-1. The classic example, I think, of all time was a young left-hander named Sandy Koufax who couldn't hit the screen, the backstop, and suddenly got his control, and for about 5 years in a row was as great a pitcher as ever lived. A 3-1 delivery. Swinging and a foul ball back. Interesting to study careers. When I was a kid, Dizzy Dean was an idol of mine in the Depression days, and Dizzy came up with that sore arm that helped wind up his career. And he wasn't even 29 years old. And he was winning 22, 25, 30 games a season. Still 25, 26 years of age. That's how good he was. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Rickey Henderson. 2 out, nobody on. Foul, back into the seats again. Odd, Ernie, how some pitchers bloom late. They finally learn how to pitch. Some of them get arm trouble, and they get over it with father time. And other pitchers are good early and then fade away.
Desi Vance, the great Brooklyn pitcher, didn't even come up till he was 33 years old, and they usually bloom a lot later than other players. We've had a little problem down there with Henderson, I think. He hurt himself swinging. Joe Roma doing duty again. This is the second player this happened to. Murphy, you remember, came up with a muscle spasm in the side in the opening inning. Had to be taken out. Bassetti had to be inserted in the outfield. And now Henderson, who's the catalyst on this ball club, is being treated by trainer Joe Roma. Billy Martin's out there. Umpire Newdecker looking on. And it may be another spasm.
What's Righetti throwing? Full muscle balls or something? I don't know. I've never seen this. I've seen very rarely you see a player leave the lineup because of a swing at the plate. Maybe once a year, twice a year. This seems to be in his hand, his left hand, that muscle along the bottom of the palm of the little finger side. And they got some spray out there, and they're spraying it now.
Yeah, that's that ethyl fluoride. It freezes and kills the pain. Well, the league championships lead up to the World Series, and you'll hear the series here next Tuesday, the 20th. Ben Scully, CBS radio sportscaster, will cover the play-by-play. Sparky Anderson will be alongside with color and analysis. Win Elliott will have pre- and post-game comments and interviews. And the World Series begins at 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday, October the 20th on most of these CBS radio stations. Hear it here.
They're now wrapping Henderson's wrist and that bottom part of his hand along the little finger side, the edge of the hand. Maybe he strained it, taking a big cut at Righetti. A very unusual thing to have two players injured at home plate without even being hit by a pitch ball.
First two men in the batting order, two very important cogs in the machine here for the Oakland A's, and both seem to hurt themselves the same way. So we're getting a little medical attention down there still now. For Rickey Henderson with 2 out in the 5th inning. This game is scoreless, and in the background you can hear the organized cheering of the A's fans.
Well, they've got a new gimmick here. They start in section. They raise up, throw their arms in the air, and yell, "Go!" Then just as they start to sit down, the next section gets up, and they go all the way around the ballpark doing it. And it's almost like the old card tricks at the big football games at halftime. It's quite a sight.
Well, it's great to see these fans participating and having a great time at the ballpark.
Meanwhile, we're in the last of the 5th inning. The A's are at bat, 2 down. Nobody on, and they've taped up Rickey Henderson's left wrist and hand. He's shaking his head just to say, I don't know whether I can go out there or not.
Well, do you remember when Murphy was just about it? Looked as if he'd get back in there. Then he took a practice swing and came up with another spasm, and he couldn't continue. They had to remove him from the game.
What is it, the right wrist or the left wrist? Got tape all over, both of them. His left. Billy Martin is talking to the umpire now. I believe unless he'd hurt himself, I'd just have him standing up there. He might get a walk. And the way he's been stealing bases. You know, also on his 2 stolen bases, he went in head first with his hands outstretched.
Yeah, he might have hurt his hand.
Might have hurt one of his hands in.
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether he can take a cut or not.
3-2 is the count. Dave Righetti's pitch to him. He tries to bunt, and it's a foul ball. He's out. It'll be a strikeout for the pitcher and a putout for the catcher, and the A's are retired in the 5th. That was the easiest inning Righetti's had as the A's went down in order. We'll see if he goes out to left field. At the end of 5 innings in Oakland, it is the Yankees nothing and the Oakland A's nothing. Ernie and I were just laughing here. This is a 2 hour and 20-minute ball game in 5 innings, and there hasn't been a score yet. Mike Davis is going to left field. The A's have lost 2 of their 3 outfielders in the game by swinging a bat at home plate, straining a muscle, caused Murphy to leave.
Ball played left field for Oakland.
Now, wait a minute.
Now they've got to change. That's Heath going out now.
Mike Heath.
They sent Davis out there. He had his glove. And then when the other players got on the field, Billy Martin, one of the coaches, called him in, and Mike Heath has been sent out. Mike is generally the catcher, but he is put into service now in left field. So I don't know whether Davis was ever officially in the game or not. We'll have to wait and see.
I think he was. Anyway, the A's keep swinging that bat hard the way they are. They won't have a ball club left. Bob Watson leads it off for the Yankees in the 6th inning. And he has stung the ball. He's lined out to third, and he's lined a single to left. So 2/3 of the out. There's a high fly ball, deep right. Tony Armas back. Warning track, has it. Up against the wall. Watson hit the ball tonight, but not in good luck. Armas went a long ways for that one into right center to haul it in. About another 2 or 3 feet, and his back was up against the wall, where the A's are right now. Rick Cerone has flied out and hit into a force play. No score, top of the 6th inning. Willie Randolph's on deck. The pitch comes in. The slow curve high and inside for a ball. One ball, no strikes. Keough's pitch is a strike call in the inside corner of the letter, the fastball. 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch, he hits a curveball to third on a hop to Mickey Klutts. He flips over to first, and there are 2 down. That brings up Willie Randolph. Willie is singled to the infield and wrapped into a force play.
Second baseman, Willie Randolph.
2 down, nobody on. The Yankees have had 1 hit since the 2nd inning. They have left 1 man at least in every inning, 9 in the game. They're not getting the big hit tonight. They left the bases loaded in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. They've had their chances. But Keough's pitched a gritty game and made the pitches he had to make at the proper time. 1 ball, no strikes to Willie Randolph. The pitch on the way. There's a long drive to left field, way back, going, and it is gone. A home run for Willie Randolph on a 1-0 pitch, and the Yankees have the lead. New York, top of the 6th inning. Randolph has awakened with the bat. They all come out and greet him. We go to the top of the order and pick up Jerry Mumphrey.
Same old story with the Yankees occurred. If somebody stops hitting, somebody else picks them up.
Yeah, they just
Randolph's turn tonight.
Got a lot of depth. First it was Milbourne. Nettles, he couldn't hit against Milwaukee, but he's hit here. Now Randolph started to hit down at the bottom of the order. Pitch is in. Willie had only 4 out of 20 against Milwaukee. Now Keough, seems to be something wrong with him. Maybe he's got a blister. He keeps looking at his hand. Don't miss out on the fun and excitement of baseball next year, and Ernie Harwell's going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah, you can do something about it right now, because now's the time to make sure you and your family don't miss out. You call your favorite team and ask about season tickets. Sure, they'll have a ticket plan to fit your needs. It's a great way to entertain your family and business associates. So do it now and join the fans who enjoy Major League Baseball. Baseball fever, catch it.
Pitch is swung on by Jerry Mumphrey. A high hop just inside the line to the shortstop. Picciolo, he grabs it. The Yankees are out, but they took the lead in the top of the 6th inning. On Willie Randolph's homer with nobody on, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're coming to the last of the 6th inning, and the score, New York 1 and Oakland 0.
Arnold Palmer tells us about a television commercial and how people are responding.
Kurt Gowdy and Ernie Harwell here in the Oakland Coliseum. Rick Musetti will lead off for Oakland in the last of the 6th inning. He'll be followed by Cliff Johnson and then Tony Armas. Dave Righetti. Still in there for the Yanks. He's allowed 4 hits. Struck out 4, and his first pitch is a letter-high fastball for a strike call. He's walked 2, and Righetti now has thrown 100 pitches. There's 101 for him. Ball 1, strike 1. He starts getting in trouble here in the 6th, I think, to see Ron Davis start warming up for the Yankees or someone out there. What was the medical report on Henderson? His left wrist has got...
Yeah, they're putting ice on it.
Putting ice on it. A bruised left wrist. The high pop in the shallow right. Gamble comes on, waves the second baseman Randolph off, and grabs it for the out. 1 down. Cliff Johnson has walked and popped up. Yankees in the lead, 1-0. They win this game tonight, they would not play until next Tuesday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days of rest. The Dodgers and Montreal have an open date. If this series goes to 5 games, it will be over with Saturday because the Oakland Raiders are playing the Tampa Bay Bucks here on Sunday, and the Coliseum had to be made available for football. So the American League did not have a traveling day in its league championship series. Ball to Cliff Johnson. Mike Davis was not officially placed in the game by the A's, so he could still play when he went out to left field. Swinging strike by Johnson, and he nearly hurt himself with a huge cut at the plate. Now, if Montreal and the Dodgers went to Game 5, that would be on Sunday. They'd have a day open and then would open in either Oakland or New York for the World Series. Montreal wins it. We're going to find out about that Montreal weather. We've all been hearing readings for 5 years. When have we ever had a World Series in Montreal? I got to tell you, the weather in New York's been beautiful.
And great here today.
The high fly in the right field. Another easy chance for Gamble. He's in 2 steps, taps the gloves and puts it away. 2 down. And Tony Armas is up.
That's 2 outfield putouts in this inning for the Yankees, and they didn't have any until the 5th inning when Newman led off with a fly to left. So it's only 3 still for the outfielders.
Well, a good sign maybe for the Yankees is the 2 right-handers did not pull or hit the ball to left against the left-hander Righetti. They weren't getting around on him. Armas 0 for 2. He's a power hitter and he swings and misses. Strike 1. He's gone 9 times in a row without a hit since he opened the first game with a single at New York. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tony Armas. 1-0 Yankees. Last of the 6th inning. Swinging on a high fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mickey Klutts is on deck. One and 2. The pitch comes down. Foul, back out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Two down for Oakland. Bases empty.
Time called. Kurt, something was thrown from on the field just past Winfield. He has to pick it up and retrieve it, take it off the field.
They're booing about. They're booing somebody who threw something out there. in the neighborhood of Winfield. Tony Armas was hit in the side at Yankee Stadium by a baseball thrown out of the stand. Check swing foul ball to Tony Armas. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 1-2 delivery. High 2-2. Dave Righetti, nearby San Jose, California. Born and bred. He'll have a lot of fans rooting for him tonight down there, even though it may be Oakland area. Righetti has his hometown friends and people that he's grown up with. High school classmates. 2-2 pitch. Ball 3, high and inside to Tony Armas.
Your old pal, Charlie Silvera, was one of the men that scouted him.
I told the story.
Yeah.
He caught him.
Yeah.
Charlie got that catcher's mitt out. That's a good way to tell whether a kid's got any stuff or not. Catch him yourself. A 3-2 pitch to Tony Armas. He hits a drive to deep right. Back to throw. Gamble's back there. Right against the wall. Makes the grab. Armas lines it to deep right. And all 3 putouts were made by Oscar Gamble that inning in right field. So inning number 6 is in the books in the Oakland Coliseum. And the score is New York 1 and Oakland 0. Well, as the Yankee players say, when you go against us, and we're in the lead, you're playing 6-inning games. The Yankees are leading 1-0 at the end of 6th inning. And Ron Davis is starting to warm up for the Yankees now, and which means that Righetti may not come out, even though he's pitching a shutout, and Davis may come in to pitch in the last of the 7th. We'll see what happens. Larry Milbourne has an infield hit, and he's grounded out to the first baseman twice. Milbourne, Winfield, and Bobby Murcer. For late tuners in, Reggie Jackson has not played tonight, still ailing with a strained calf muscle. Dwayne Murphy injured his back swinging, had to leave the game early. And Rickey Henderson is out with a bad right wrist. There's a sharp ground ball to Picciolo in the hole. He throws and gets him on a close play. Milbourne really went down that line, but he's just out by a gnat's eye at first base on a fine play by Rob Picciolo. So it's 1 away, and here comes Winfield up. Winfield lined out to deep left, reached in an error by the shortstop, and then flied out on the warning track in left center. One of those bang-bang plays. The ball in the mid, the bang of that beat the bang of the foot in the bag. Keough's gone all the way for the A's. 6 inning totals in pitches. Keough now has thrown 100. Righetti 112. They both pitched about a full ball game. Overhand curve slips in for a strike to Winfield. No balls, 1 strike. A left-hander, Bobby Murcer's on deck. 1 run, 5 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 4 hits for Oakland. The A's have committed the only error. A swing, and Winfield drops to the ground on a slow curveball. Whoosh. No balls, 2 strikes. Just blew Ernie's beret off.
You know, nothing's going to do that.
You know, I've fished in Spain and in Argentina, and they wear those berets, good fly fishermen, because of the wind, especially in Argentina. Swing and a miss, strike 3. But also, you need a cap to keep warm, so a beret's an ideal piece of fishing equipment.
Bobby Murcer.
2 down, nobody on, and here's Bobby Murcer up. Bobby Murcer has walked, grounded a short, and struck out. Keough's pitch is a little bit high to him for a ball. Murcer, a veteran who has played here in the Bay Area, played over with the Giants. Traded from the Yankees to the Giants and on to the Cubs and wound up back with the Yankees again. The next pitch is outside, ball 2 to Bobby Murcer. 7th inning. The Yankees have 2 down, nobody on. They're leading 1-0. One more win and the Yankees clinch the 1981 American League Championship and will go into the World Series against either Montreal or the Dodgers. The 2-0 pitch. All 3 outside to Bobby Murcer. Ron Davis now is walking out of the Yankee bullpen in toward the dugout, his jacket on, which would give indication that he will come out and pitch in the last of the 7th inning. Paul Brown, the old football coach, had a saying. That pitch is a strike call. They ask you why he ran Jimmy Brown so many times. If you have a big cannon, why not shoot it? And that's the way Bob Lemon feels. You got Davis and Gossage, big cannons in the bullpen, why not use them? Goes after a high fastball, and it's a foul out of play. We have a 3-2 count to Bobby Murcer. With 2 outs, the bases empty. And Lemon, who was a great pitcher himself, said I would be foolish not to go to those fellas as quickly as I can, but not overuse them, because they throw as hard and as good as anybody I've ever seen out of that bullpen. 3-2 to Bobby Murcer. Left-handed batter Oscar Gamble is on deck. Big crowd tonight on a very pleasant evening here in Oakland. The 3-2 pitch rides in. It's a line shot in the center field for a base hit. Mercer's on with a 2-out single. Oscar Gamble will be up. The Yankees now have 6 hits.
They've had 4 of those hits with 2 out and nobody on. And the big one, that home run by Randolph, came with 2 out and nobody on.
And we're going to get some action now, Ernie, in the Oakland bullpen. So Billy Martin knows that
That's
Keough...
Underwood down there.
Yeah. Tom Underwood's the left-hander. And the youngster Dave Beard, the right-hander. Double barrel action there in the Oakland bullpen. Keough is in about the same shape as Righetti. Both of them thrown over 100 pitches coming into the 7th inning. Gamble played as a pull hitter to right. He looks at a low outside breaking pitch for ball 1. Graig Nettles on deck, a left-hander. 1-0 New York. Yanks batting in their top of the 7th. The pitch. Ball 2 outside. 2-0 to Gamble, who opened red hot against Milwaukee, the divisional playoffs that we covered, and now has been cooled off by the Oakland A's. Two balls, no strikes. The stretch and pitch is high, ball 3. And an uneasiness buzzing among the fans here in the Oakland Coliseum. 3 balls, no strikes. The runner at first, Bobby Murcer. 2 down. Wonder if they'll give Gamble a green light. He can hit it out here if he gets his pitch. No, he's taking. 3-1. Now let's watch Murcer on first with the count 3-1 and 2 down. They could put a play on. Gamble could hit behind the runner, a left-handed pull hitter. The stretch by Keough and the pitch. Runners holding. Swinging straight to a fastball. Gamble asked the umpire, Jerry Newdecker, to take a look at the ball. He didn't like the way that one acted. You never do when you miss it.
And Keough's one of the Oakland pitchers has been suspected of wetting the ball throughout the season.
What do you mean by wetting the ball? You mean maybe a little dab of Vaseline will get you? He's up on the cap. 3-2, 2 down. Bobby Murcer running with the pitch. He's going. It's ball 4, and the Yankees have runners on first and second, 2 out. And Graig Nettles coming up. Graig Nettles lined out to deep right into the corner with the bases loaded in the first inning. Grounded out in the third and popped up in the fifth. He knocked in all the Yankee runs in the first game with a base-clearing 3-run double. He had 4 hits yesterday. They stopped him today, but he nearly cleared the bases again with that line shot to Tony Armas in the right field corner with 2 down in the first inning. If the Yankees would win this game tonight, I said if, and you had to vote for a most valuable player, Nettles would be right up there, I think, as the leader right now. A total of 113 pitches by Matt Keough. He stretches. Nettles, the left-handed batter, looks at a slow ball that floats outside to him for a ball. 1-0. Bobby Murcer at second. Oscar Gamble at first, 2 down. Yankees are out in front, 1-0. Dave McKay. Dave McKay drops in from his second base position and wants to say something.
Charlie Justin used to say, if your pitcher is high in the opening 3 or 4 innings, stay with him because he can get the ball down. But if he starts getting high consistently, after about the 5th inning, he's going to give you some problems.
I wonder where McKay came in. As soon as McKay started in, Billy Martin, the manager, came out of the Oakland dugout and he went out to the box. Maybe something about strategy, I don't know, because Matt Keough is staying in. The situation finds Bobby Murcer at second, Oscar Gamble at first, 2 out. 1 ball, no strikes to the batter, Graig Nettles, who is hitting 6th in the Yankee lineup. 37-year-old third baseman who could still do it. The pitch, high and away, ball 2. A right-handed batter's on deck, Bob Watson. Nettles ahead on the count, 2-0. Keough to the belt, throws. There's a shot into right center. Rossetti's over there in front of it and takes it to the out to retire the side. No runs for New York. 1 hit, no errors. They left 2. The Yankees now have left 11 men in this game. And it's the 7th inning stretch of the Oakland Coliseum with a score, New York 1 and Oakland 0. We have a new pitcher, Ron Davis, the big right-hander, who has pitched 7 1/3 innings. Ron Davis in the game now. Dave Righetti pitched the shutout, but is taken out. I think they thought he had just thrown too many pitches. They wanted the fresh, strong Davis in there, and Rick Russell is warming up in the Yankee bullpen. Righetti, 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, no runs, walked 2, struck out 4. Ron Davis in these postseason playoffs against Milwaukee for the divisional championship, and now in the American League Championship Series, has worked 7 1/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, no runs, and has struck out 9 in 7 1/3 innings. He can get a streak of wildness, though. He's walked 4. He's throwing strikes. Wayne Gross batting for Mickey Klutts. They get a left-hander up. Davis, formerly in the Cubs system, 6'5". Big man. Overpowering. A power pitcher, I guess, is the best way you can describe him. here we go in the last of the 7th. First pitch is low, ball 1 to Gross. They step out on him. They'll try these delaying tactics again. Davis can get rattled easily. Jim Spencer is going to bat for Kelvin Moore. They'll get another left-hander up there. Now, backing out again is Gross. Pretends he has something in his eye. Maybe he does. I doubt it. This is the tactics they used at Yankee Stadium, and they finally got Davis rattled, and he walked 2 men in a row, and Bob Leonard went out and took him out. He said he can go sky high on me. He gets emotional. The 1-0 pitch to Wayne Gross. There's a high fly in the right field. There's room for Oscar Gamble. He's under it, and he has it. And that's 4 put-outs in a row. The last 4 men up for the A's have flied out to right field. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
It's 10 o'clock at your radio station, WYER-FM, Mount Carmel.
This is Kurt Gowdy with Ernie Harwell. Last of the 7th inning in Oakland. Yankees leading 1-0. And Jim Spencer is batting for Kelvin Moore. Spencer will go in and play first base then in the 8th inning. Ron Davis ready to go to work to Jim Spencer. Spencer hits a little pop to the third baseman. Graig Nettles squeezes it, and that's out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for the A's. Davis and Gossage can almost knock the bat out of your hands.
And the last 9 Oakland hitters have gone down in a row, starting with a double play that McKay hit into in the 4th inning.
Switch hitter Dave McKay up now, single to right. Wrapped into a double play. He's 1 for 2. 1-0 New York, last of the 7th inning. Now, somebody with the Cubs must be wondering what this fellow's doing over here pitching in the League Championship Series. Boy, they made a big mistake on him. But hindsight's always easiest. There's a strike call. 0-1 to Dave McKay. He struck out at least 1 batter every inning he pitched this year, Davis did. That's stuff. Sliders low and inside. Another ex-Cubs in the bullpen, Rick Russell. Remember, he struck out 8 batters in a row. That's the kind of stuff he has against the California Angels back in May. Foul out of play. His next game, the first batter he faced, he struck him out at Seattle, so he really had 9 strikeouts in a row in 2 games. He was acquired from the Chicago Cubs, the Midland Farm Club, in exchange for Ken Holtzman, who now is gone. And the Yankees have a young right-hander, 26 years old, for the future. Great deal they made. 2-2. Two away, nobody on. There's a pop-up to the infield. Backing up in the grass in shallow left is Milbourne. Gives way to Winfield, who came on and took the ball about knee-high as it suddenly dropped on him. Ball carried a little better than it looked like it would when it left the bat. 3 up and 3 down for Oakland in the last of the 7th. In the 7th, it's New York 1 and Oakland 0. Thank you, John. And now we're going to the 8th inning here in Oakland. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Yankees. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the A's. The Yankees have left 11, and Oakland has left 4. The A's have not left a runner on since the 3rd inning. Jim Spencer goes to first base defensively, and Wayne Gross to third base. Bob Watson has hit the ball hard each time up, but has only 1 hit to show. And there's a line drive to third. That's the second time he's lined out to third. He's signaled to left. and he's lined out to deep right. Wayne Gross caught that ball down at third. Rick Cerone up. Matt Keough pitching here in the top of the 8th inning. Cerone hitless in 3 times. Inside to aim for a ball, 1-0. Willie Randolph due up next. Playing Cerone as a pull hitter to left, the way most clubs play him. Crowds him. Breaking pitch, ball 2, 2-0. There's a shot down the left field line for a base hit. Heath over in the corner digs it up. Cerone makes a turn and holds. The throw comes into the shortstop. Cerone on first, 1 out. And Willie Randolph has had an infield hit. Bounced into a force play and has provided the only run of the game with a home run into left field in the 6th inning. 2 out of 3.
The Yankees have had a run occurred in every inning. Had a hit in every inning except 2. They didn't get a hit in the 5th inning, but they had a 2-out walk. They didn't get a hit in the 3rd, but they got Winfield as far as 3rd on an error and a bounce out.
They talked about all the ex-Yankees on the Oakland A's, 6 of them. Chicago is well represented here on the Yankee roster. They have 5 ex-Cubs: Davis, LaRoche, Russell, Foote, and Mercer. That pitch is high for a ball. Ex-White Sox are Tommy John, Oscar Gamble, Bucky Dent, as his manager Bob Lemon, and Rich Gossett. 10 ex-Chicago Major League players on the Yankee roster. Dave LaRoche now warming up for the Yankees. Cerone's at first, 1 out. Randolph fouls it out of play and accounts 1-1. We're in the 8th inning at Oakland. The Yankees leading 1-0. Winners of the first 2 games of this best of 3 of 5. McCanny wasn't too effective yesterday. Norris pitched a good game for Oakland in the opening contest. He gave up 3 runs in the first inning, shut him out after that. Pitch is a strike call to Randolph. And tonight, although the Yanks have left 11 and Keough's pitched in constant trouble, he's allowed only 1 run. The only problem for him, his teammates don't have any. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cerone at first. Keough stretches, comes down. Ground ball to short. Over with it is Picciolo to step on second, to throw to first to get the double play. 6 unassisted to first, double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're coming to the last of the 8th inning, and the score is still the Yankees 1 and the A's 0. Well, the A's are down to the last of the 8th inning. They face elimination unless they can tie this up or go ahead. And they have Jeff Newman, Rob Picciolo, and Mike Heath to face Ron Davis. Tonight's state attendance, 47,302. The pitch, swinging strike, 0-1 to Newman. He has struck out and flagged to left. You know, the A's broke their all-time seasonal attendance record this year, even though the baseball strike cost them 50-some games. They might have gone 2 million out here. Fans are responding to the new ownership, local ownership, paying great attention to the team, the park, and the popularity of Billy Martin here. A foul going out of play. Now there's rumors that Billy will retire as manager and will appoint a new manager here in 3 years. He'll stay as general manager. Foul ball back. I've heard that. It's hard for these fellas to get out of that action, though. Once you coach or manage, like the old fire horse, when they ring that bell, gong, you're ready. The two-strike pitch. He struck out. Goes around swinging. Newman's down. And Ron Davis has put down 4 in a row since he came in. Keith Drumright is going to bat for Rob Picciolo. The A's will not have 2 of their best hitters available here in the 8th and 9th inning. And Rickey Henderson and Dwayne Murphy, both who were injured, swinging at pitches at home plate and had to leave the game. Red Stanley will come in and play shortstop now at the top of the 9th inning. Davis throws, and he's high and away from the left-hander with the ball, 1-0. Drumright takes ball 2, 2-0. Anything now to start a rally for the A's is what they're hoping. They're behind 1 run, 1-0, last of the 8th. Davis's pitch. That's a strike call, 2-1. Davis wears glass. That fastball of his must do something, Ernie.
It's a great one.
It must be moving. There's a bounding ball to first baseman Watson. Easy play for him. Steps on the bag. There are 2 down. 5 harmless outs against Davis. And guess who's warming up for the Yanks? Acid on acid, fire on fire. Goose Gossage, just in case he's needed. Mike Heath batting in place of the injured Rickey Henderson. The last of the 8th inning, 1-0 New York. The pitch, low and away, ball 1. One ball, no strike. He fouls it, reaching for an outside pitch into the seat. A ball and a strike. Righetti went the first 6 innings, shutout ball, but they took him out. Brought in Ron Davis, who has faced 5 men, retired all 5. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and a strike. The outfield straight away for Mickey Heath. Two and 1. There it is. Ball 3, 3-1.
12 in a row now have gone down for the Oakland A's plate.
But Heath has a chance to reach. Maybe to break that drought. With a count of 3-1 to him. The pitch comes in. Foul ball off the fist, and the count's 3-2. Davis likes to work quickly. So does Gossage. Get in that box and let's go. They no sooner get the ball back from the catcher and they're ready. They're up with that pitching rubber. A 3-2 delivery. Ground ball to first baseman Watson. He has it. Over to the bag he goes. And the A's go down 1-2-3 in the last of the 8th inning. So we're going to the 9th inning in Oakland, and it is the New York Yankees 1 and the Oakland A's nothing. We're into the 9th inning. The Yankees send the top of the batting order up against Jerry Mumphrey, Milbourne, and Winfield, facing Matt Keough. And if you joined us late, there's only been 1 run in this game. That came in the 6th inning with 2 outs when Willie Randolph stroked a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence for a home run. Red Stanley goes to shortstop. This is almost a new team the A's have on the field than the one that started the game. Heath's in left in place of Henderson. Bossetti's in center in place of Murphy. Both Henderson and Murphy injured. Armas is at right. He started the game. Gross is the new third baseman. Stanley's the new shortstop. Spencer's the new first baseman. 5 changes defensively. A ball to Jerry Mumphrey. He has 1 hit in 3 official times. Keough throws. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, and I think we're going to have some action now in the A's bullpen. If you're an A's fan and looking ahead to the last of the ninth and their last chance, Posetti, Johnson, and Armas are their scheduled batters. All right-handers. Rich Gossage is down there pumping for the Yankees. You can hear that ball popping at catcher's mitt from way up here, and he's warming up down the right field line. 3-0 to Jerry Mumphrey. A big job for Keough right now is don't let the Yankees have any more runs. A 1-run game's a lot different than a 2-run game in the 9th inning. Get a man on, bunt him along, and a little blooper base hit can score him. 2-run disadvantage is much more difficult. The 3-1 pitch. He walked him. Mumphrey's on to open the top of the 9th inning. Also in the Yankee bullpen, outfielder Bobby Brown loosening up his throwing arm. He'll probably go in and play defensive right field in the last of the 9th inning. Jeff Newman's out talking to Keough. Newman looks over into the A's dugout. They have Tom Underwood and Dave Beard warming up there. The A's are looking for the bunt now. Larry Milbourne playing tight at third. Mumphrey at first. Nobody out. 1-0 New York. 9th inning. Quick throw to first. Diving back is Mumphrey.
But time had been called. Mumphrey ventured off the base, but time had been called at first base by Marty Springsteen.
The A's have even tried the hidden ball play this year, Ernie. They've had a triple steal they attempted. There's a bunt, pushed toward the box. They're going to make the play to first. Keough gets it away from the second baseman McKay covering. And the Yankees have runners on first and second. Nobody out. Keough looked to second. He thought it would be too much of a gamble to go down there to get Mumphrey. Then he threw to first. Dave McKay came over to cover, and the throw got away. Now here's Billy Martin now coming out. That throw was a little bit off to the right of the second baseman, but it wasn't all that much off target.
Looked like a pretty good throw to me. I mean, a good enough throw not to be an error. We'll wait for the official score and see what he says.
Well, they've charged an error, but I don't know who they've given it to. See if we can check. Get down and check for it, please. In the meantime, the Yankees now have runners on first. An error is charged on McKay. I didn't think the throw looked that bad. Sacrifice given to Milbourne. An assist for the pitcher. His throw was good enough to get the runner at first, but McKay dropped the ball, and he's charged with the error. And the Yankees have runners on first and second. Nobody out. They're ahead 1-0. And they're trying to get an insurance run or two in here. They have big Dave Winfield up. He has gone 0 for 4, but he's hit the ball a long ways to left field twice.
Dave Winfield.
Would you have this man bunting, Ernie?
I don't know. It's a tough decision. You know, as hard as he hits the ball, I'd say maybe so. See, they got Murcer up next. And then Gamble.
Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Winfield the batter. Keough throws. And he bluffed the bunt, but the ball was in the dirt. 1 ball, no strike. Winfield can just about do it all. Hit with power, hit. Runs well for a big man. Can jump and make incredible catches in left field. pretty good thrower. And he was ready to bunt that time. One ball, no strike. That pitch is in for a strike call. Again, Winfield squared away as if to bunt. 1-1 the count.
Good fielding first baseman. Spencer Gross has improved a great deal at third. But still not as good as some of the other third basemen in the league.
Oh, we have a tight one here in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees leading 1-0. Trying to tie a clinch it tonight. He tried to bunt that one, fouled it back. Now he'll be swinging away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'm Kurt Gowdy with Ernie Harwell. We hope you're enjoying these American League Championship games. Unless the A's can rally in the last of the ninth, it's going to be a short series. One ball, 2 strikes to Winfield. The pitch comes on. Foul ball, just center feet of it. And it caromed off the chest protector of catcher Jeff Newman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mumphrey's at second. Milbourne's at first. Nobody out. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Inside breaking pitch. So he went for the collar tonight, 0 for 5. Now Billy Martin is coming out, and I believe he'll bring his left-hander, Tom Underwood, in to face Bobby Murcer, which may mean that Lou Piniella could come out and swing for the Yankees, a right-hander. Now, while our new pitcher's warming up, let's pause for this. Tom Underwood's on, and Lou Piniella is going to come out and bat for Bobby Murcer. He's been dynamite as a pinch hitter in the postseason play. Right now, Ernie will tell you about the record of Keough in the game and Underwood.
Well, Underwood won 4 and lost 6. He started pitching this year with the Yankees and then came over to Oakland. And he's pitched 1 time in this series. He came in the 8th inning of the first game with the Yankees leading at that point 3-1. There was a man on and a man out. And he walked Jackson and then the Piniella single. But Milbourne, trying to score, was out at the plate. Then Underwood walked the next man and got the next one, Brown, on a foul to the first baseman. Keough pitched a very strong game. The only run scored on him was the home run by Randolph, but he was in more trouble than James Bond throughout the game. There were threats in almost every inning, and the Yankees leaving 11 men on the bases through the first 7 and through the first 8 innings. They left 11, and they had 2 on here in the 9th when Keough left the ball game. So he saw plenty of Yankee uniforms out there on the bases. But Underwood, the left-hander from Kokomo, Indiana, taking over now to pitch against his old teammate. And Lou Piniella, who touched him for a single, the only game in which he pitched, that came in the 8th inning of the first game, coming up to bat.
And Lou had a 3-run homer yesterday. He's already started at the plate. I don't know what he's waiting on. They have Oscar Gamble on deck. Oh, here he is, coming up to bat for Bobby Murcer. He's been laying his bat across the plate and purposely hitting balls to right, except that 3-run homer he pulled to left. Lou Piniella. He'll be a free agent when this season's over. Yankees are ahead 1-0 in the top of the 9th inning. Tom Underwood, former Yankee pitcher, throws. Piniella looks at a curve strike. 0-1. left field. Piniella has another hit. They're waving the runner on. It is way in time. He's out. He didn't have a chance. Mumphrey's out easily, standing up. That throw from Mike Heath was there about 3 or 4 strides away from home plate.
Well, that's odd because it's the second game in which Piniella's gotten a base hit and the runner was out at the plate. It happened in the first game. It's his third pinch hit in these 3 games, and that's a big break for the Oakland A's because instead of a run scoring and having only 1 out and 2 on, now they are 2 out, 2 on, and no run in, and the Yankees still lead it 1-0.
Well, you might question that base running with only 1 out, Ernie. The ball was hit sharply. Heath, the catcher, has a good throwing arm.
Here's Barry Foote. He'll be coming up now to bat for Oscar Gamble, the right-hand hitting catcher obtained from the Chicago Cubs.
That Piniella really comes through up there in the pinch hitting role, though, doesn't he?
He's great.
Smart, tough hitter. He hit the ball like a shot to left. Heath, who was playing in place of the injured Henderson in left, fired a strike, and they had Mumphrey, by half a mile. He didn't even try and slide. There's no use of it. Pitch is inside for a ball to Barry Foote. 1-0 New York. They have 2 runners on. The pitch comes in. There's a base hit in the right field. Armas has a great arm. He throws to the plate. They hold the runner this time, and the bases are loaded. Well, they should have held the runner last time with 1 out.
I think he would have had him then, too. He charged that ball like an infielder. He came up and fired it into Newman at the plate, and after rounding third, Milbourne scooted on back.
The Yankees have left 11 tonight. Now they have the bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning. Armas is one of the best throwing arms in the league. When I saw Mumphrey rounding third heading for home, I said, man, you're in trouble. We're going to have Bobby Brown now go in and run for Barry Foote at first base. And Brown will play right field in the last of the 9th inning. I think Goose Cottage is coming on here. I see him walking in from the dugout. I hate to second guess Bob Levin, but that Davis is so overpowering. Nobody's touched him yet. You wonder why they take him out until he got into some trouble. Maybe they won't.
Riders asked Bob Lemon that after the first game in Milwaukee. He said, well, if I've got it, I'm going to flaunt it.
Yeah. Rick Nettles has gone hitless 4 times up. 1-0 New York. 9th inning, the Yankees have 2 down. They've had a walk, an error, and 2 hits and haven't scored this inning. Left-hander facing left-hander. Low and inside, ball 1 to Graig Nettles. There'll be some second guessing about sending the runner Mumphrey with 1 out and a line drive shot to left by Piniella. He was out so far, standing up, that he tried to run around the catcher out toward the pitcher's mound. Mumphrey was. 1 run, 9 hits for the Yanks, no runs, 4 hits for the A's. Here's the pitch. Low outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. A strike called in the inside corner. Nettles says, what? Two and 1 to Graig Nettles. Milbourne's at third. Piniella's at second. Bobby Brown's at first. Strike 2 called at the knees. 2 and 2. Balls, 2 strikes to Nettles. The pitch comes in. Foul ball. Up and back of the A's dugout. A 2-2 count. We've got a 3-hour and 15-minute game, and the score is 1-0. New York ahead. 2-2 to Nettles. 3 runners lead away. Foul ball beat down the first base line. The count holds at 2-2. Remember, the A's in the last of the ninth will have Posetti, Johnson, and Armas coming up. Maybe against Guscati, who's left the Yankee bullpen and come into the Yankee dugout. The two, now he steps out. Milbourne at third. Pinella's at second. Bobby Brown's at first. Here's the pitch. 3-2. Full count with the bases loaded. And 2 down. 3-2 and a big one due here in the 9th inning. Runner stretches, get their lead, foul back up against the screen. Tom Underwood will serve up another 3-2 pitch. Yankees ahead, 1-0 in the 9th inning. Needing to get 3 more outs and tuck away the American League Championship. The stretch in the pitch. There's a drive in the deep center, way back. Posetti goes. Can't get it. It'll clear the bases. And Nettles is in the second with a double, and he's knocked in 3 runs. And fates would have it, Dwayne Murphy could have probably fielded that ball. Posetti turned the wrong way, then got back there, and that's twice Nettles has cleared the bases in this series and knocking in 3 runs. I think he certainly has to be the most valuable player of the series so far. Posetti reached up and just outlooted him. Off the, I think he maybe touched it with the tip of the glove, and the Yankees have a 4-run lead now on that long smash to deep center by Graig Nettles, knocking in 3.
Certainly the ball misplayed by Posetti, and that's the big difference now, 4-0 Yankees.
And some of the fans start for the exit. Bob Watson is up, and he hits a line drive right at the second baseman to retire the side. 3 big runs for the Yankees. 3 hits, 1 error by the A's, and the Yankees had 1 left. Last of the 9th inning, it's New York 4 and Oakland nothing. Oakland. Posetti the batter. All runs were unearned. They just corrected themselves. They made an error on a bunt play. They would have had the 3rd out before the double. Gossage' pitch is a swing and a miss by Posetti. Popped up, flied out. Well, we'll never know, but from what we've seen of Dwayne Murphy, he would have caught that ball out there in center field. He's a marvelous defensive center fielder. But he wasn't in there. And it was a bad break for the A's. The 1-2 pitch. Low ball, 2 strike 2. Guscati has pitched 8 1/3 innings in postseason. Allowed 3 hits. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. One down. Gossage is not allowed a run and has just struck out his 9th man in 8 2/3 innings. All right, we have 1 out in the last of the 9th inning for Oakland. They have 2 outs left, or they're eliminated, and the Yankees are the champs of the American League for 1981. Ron Davis retired 6 in a row. Gossage is brought in after the Yankees have come up with 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. All 3 runs unearned. Gossage's pitch is a swinging strike by Cliff Johnson, who has walked, popped up, and flied out. Gas on gas is a pretty good example of what Davis is when Gossage comes in behind him. 2 of the hardest throwers in baseball and 1 bullpen. The next pitch is pop foul, back out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Johnson. It's a quiet crowd now. Many of them have started to file for the exit. The Yankees owner, George Steinbrenner, after Game 4 was upset. His club had blown 2 at home after beating Milwaukee 2 on the road. And he went down and ripped his club. Since then, they haven't lost. Gossage steps off the box. Nettles is over there. Something wrong with his glove, I think. Nothing wrong with his bat.
Got a little webbing to tie up.
Now Gossage back up with the rubber. The Goose of Colorado Springs, Colorado. Cliff Johnson, the batter. 1 out for the A's, nobody on. Here's the pitch. Trying a breaking pitch that stays inside to him for a ball. 1-2. One-two pitch. Goes after a breaking pitch. Strike 3. 8 men in a row have gone down. 8 in a row have gone down between Ron Davis and Goose Gossage. 2 down. Gossage has struck out the first to his face. The last chance for the Oakland A's is Tony Armas. He's hit into a double play, struck out and line to right. Armas had a very good first season. In the second season, though, a slump cost him the American League RBI title. He drops the looper out into right field. Bobby Brown in front of him at the base hit, and Armas is on with a single. 2 down. Let's see. 4, 7, 10, 13, 15 A's in a row had gone down before Armas dumps the single in the right field. Wayne Gross up. 4-0 New York, last of the 9th inning. The 1-2 pitch. There's a pop-up out in the shallow center. Randolph goes out. He holds on to it. The Yankees have won their 33rd pennant. They sweep the Oakland A's 3 in a row. And next Tuesday in New York, they'll play either the Dodgers or Montreal in the opening game of the World Series, and will be going after their 23rd World Series title. The final line score, New York, 4 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. The Oakland A's, no runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors.